everybody knows that all the people don't have liberties, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice, and all the people don't have power, so that means none of us do.
Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. What it is, what it do, family. If there was ever a time to represent where you from, to let them know where you at, that time is right now. Welcome to the Black Alpha Network Certified Black Society. We in the house. FBA roll call. Let me know where you at. Let me see it. We gonna shut it down. We gonna do it the real way. This is gonna be the most dynamic, explosive episode, and we're gonna start off 2024 the same way we ended 2023, and that's certified time. We are in the building, family. Yes, when I'm looking at the score, it's foundational Black Americans up by 1,000 points, and we're gonna turn that 1,000 into a million, that million into a billion, that billion into a trillion, the same amount that they're gonna do when they run us our reparations check. And I see everybody already. St. Louis in the building. What up? I see you. Jersey in the building. What up? I see you. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in the building. Greensville, South Carolina. Illinois, North Carolina, Houston, Texas, Sacramento, California. California love, by the way. GA in the place. Baltimore in the place. Virginia in the place. B1 LA in the place. Let's get it. Albuquerque, New Mexico in the place. So you know we about to drop that fire. You know we about to bring it. Smash that like button. Certified Black Society. Subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. We are going to bring it the way it's supposed to be done. Let's go. What it is, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Welcome back to the Black Alpha Network. I appreciate everybody for pulling on in. I appreciate everybody. This is all time. This is all year. Things been going down. It's getting real serious out here in these streets, and we're going to get serious right along with it. This episode is going to be receipt after receipt after receipt. Turn up the volume. Share this video. Smash that like. Do everything you got to do. Go get you something to drink. If you drinking, go get you something to you know what. If you smoking, y'all do whatever it takes. But we're going to bring that FBA heat, that certified heat, Black Alpha Network, and we're going to let the whole world know that this year we going platinum. And then that platinum going to turn into diamond. The years of being underground ain't happening. Just scream and cut the check, that ain't going to happen. You're going to cut it, and we're going to go from here to there. They say there's levels. Okay, this is what they tell us. They say there's levels to this game. Well, we've always been at the very, very top. So it's time for us to come and get our spot. Let me put this up real quick, too. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is nothing for education and teaching and scholarship and research, and for everybody to know that foundational Black Americans are about that goddamn business. Now, all that out the way. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? And I want to do something real quick. I got to do something very quick. Jesse Paris, happy birthday, and not playing. Happy birthday. Seeing you in the chat. Certified salute to you. Y'all know we're going to start it off right. I got to go ahead and give that birthday salute to the family. So salute to both of you. I see it is your birthday. So salute to y'all for y'all birthday. Have a great one. And I hope you have many, many more. And I hope your family's in good health. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm just happy. I'm just happy as hell. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, family. I just got back from South Carolina. A lot of people know, with my brothers and sisters, and I seen foundational Black Americans take over a whole event. All right. And I'm not talking about 2 or 3 of us. I'm not talking about running up on a politician and pressing them. I'm talking about everybody. Everybody pulled up. So I want to tell the whole family that we are stronger than ever. We are going nowhere. You cannot replace us. You cannot erase us. The only thing you can do is sit back and deal with foundational Black Americans. Power to the people and our people only. That's the way we moving. If you want power for your people, you go out and get it. If you want power for your people, you go out and get it. For everybody, they can hold their own nuts and they can watch foundational Black American freemen do our goddamn thing. Yes, indeed. Family, if that wasn't an explosive opening, if we ain't got 240-something people already in here, I see everybody showing the family love. Happy birthday to everybody. Y'all know how it go. That's what we do on the Black Alpha Network. If it's your birthday, let me know. I'm going to put it up for everybody to see, and then they're going to see the replay, and then the replay, and the replay. That's the way we're going to do it, y'all. But we got some serious business to attend to. We got some very serious business to get to. Just this last weekend, and y'all know we've been talking about it for a long time. We've been speaking about how, in terms of our movement, this year is different. Don't let nobody tell you that this year is the same as last year. It's not. If you're doing the same thing this year that you were doing last year, you wasted time. We ain't got time to waste. So this year, family, we made a decision to stand on business. We made a decision to fight for reparations over everything. We made a decision that anybody who got in our way was going to have to feel the heat. That same heat that we bring, fire. Yes, indeed. So we knew that a situation was going to pop off in Columbia, South Carolina. As a matter of fact, let me give y'all the replay. I came back from Atlanta, all right? I want to say this was in December. I gave the speech of the year, Shut It Down, in Atlanta, Georgia. All about reparations. Many people seen it. The very next morning I got back, I got a text message from our good brother Marcel Dixon. And he told me, hey, Alpha, this is going on in South Carolina. Think you can make it? Text him back immediately. I said, hell yeah. We spoke on the phone. We said, let's bring it on the show. Let's tell everybody. Those of us who can make it, let's go. And those of us who cannot make it are going to be there with us spiritually, mentally, physically, spiritually, mind, body, and soul. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Those are the principles, right? You got all those, you good to go. 369. Damn, she fine. Yin Yang twins. But another one. If you stick to that, then you're going to always win. So we went out and we told everybody, hey, this is 2024. The Democrats are going to be here. They're going to have a civil rights reenactment. They're going to run around and pretend that they're here for Dr. Martin Luther King, but they're really just here to soften us up. We know the damn play. We're not wasting time no more. We're not going to say, okay, well, let's see what they got to say. Damn that. We know what they got to say, so we're going to bring it. You feel me? So we galvanized, strategized, mobilized the family. We got everybody on board. We pretty much promoted it, and we said, let's go there. The days of the pull-ups, that's over with. All right. The rundowns, that's over with. We seen that. That don't do nothing. Full court press. What is a full court press? That means we come in full capacity and we press these people. We don't let them slide. We don't let them smooth, get out the way. That's what people used to do back in the old days. They used to let these people just tell us anything. All right. This ain't to just tell Black Americans anything era. You have to literally make sense. They never made sense. We say, what about reparations? Joe Biden say, Democrats want to give more money to immigrants. We say, well, what about tangibles? Well, this country is majority Hispanic. We say, what about simple benefits for my lineage? Kamala Harris will say, no, I ain't giving you nothing. So we said, okay, then we're going to give you that full court press and we're going to come see you. Now, in South Carolina, family, I seen brothers and sisters come from all over the country, and they pulled all the way through all of the nonsense, went around all of the nonsense, and we all met up and we shut it down. And they threw hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. Y'all remember when I ran up on that dude from Cobra? And then the very next day I came here, I said, Cobra, I'm declaring smoke on y'all. Then NARC, we came back, we said we declaring smoke on them. And then we said the NAACP, we said we declaring smoke on them. Well, guess what? The smoke is already going to settle. And the NAACP, who kicked us out of a public event, and we got receipts, and we got guests today too. Let me put that on the table. We got some guests today, and we're going to talk about how you had the NAACP, you had the Secret Service, all right? You had undercover agents. Oh, we going there. Smash that like button. If you ain't smashed that like button and subscribe to the Black Alpha Network, make sure you do it. Share this video on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It don't matter. DM it, send it to your grandma, because your grandma's certified too. Hit everybody up and let them know that we are live right now. And we got 300 plus people in the room, and we only been on for 8 minutes. That's the way we do things. So family, we made it clear who the people were going to be. We know where they was coming from. And we said, we're going to operate, watch each other's back, and hold it down. We galvanized and we mobilized. We made some phone calls. We spoke to people. There was a lot of brothers and sisters who were supporting financially or just supporting spiritually. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. You can't walk around all day and talk about energy and then not assist your energy to a good situation. Brothers and sisters did it, and we won. We won. This was the first victory of the year. Mark it down. We won. And it wasn't some fake victory. It wasn't some first black. It wasn't Ketanji Brown Jackson or Barack Obama, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. No, it was foundational Black Americans standing on lineage, and we took over a whole event. Who are they talking about right now? Who's talking about Kamala's speech? I ain't seen Kamala's speech at all. She's not trending. That whack-ass speech ain't trending because we took their mind off the butter biscuits, and y'all know that's hard as hell to do, and we put everybody's attention on how you gonna handle these people. And I've seen news articles today. Certified salute to the brother who sent me the news article. You know who you are, brother. I appreciate that. I seen aerial footage of them way up in the buildings watching us down. Okay, they weren't focused on nobody. They was focused on us. We won. And I said on this show a few weeks ago, I said this is going to be the first victory that has our handwriting on it. And we're going to push it all the way through, because this year we're going platinum. We're not underground rappers. We're not rapping at a goddamn concert in a barbershop. All right. We're not walking down the street and don't nobody know us. You're going to move out the goddamn way when our lineage pulls up. We're coming back for everything that is owed. We're not taking no. We ain't taking maybes, sortas, or kindas. We're not asking. We're not pleading. We're not begging. We're demanding reparations. And when we demanded reparations, they tried to pull guns on us, literally. Got the receipts. They literally tried to pull out the fire trucks and water hose us like this was 1962. Like this was Selma. This was Edmund Pettus Bridge. I thought I saw John Lewis. But guess what? He wasn't there. But let me tell you what I did see. Certified Black societies who I seen. And they weren't going to pull none of that, because the brothers and sisters was on that page. They was on time. We was rocking. And you weren't going to do nothing to us at all. It was not going to happen. So everybody who's been following social media, everybody who subscribed to me on Instagram and Twitter, you've seen the videos. But we got some more videos. We got some more exclusives. And I'm going to show you some brothers and sisters who came there and they were being followed, literally. And you literally seen folks way up in the buildings. Y'all know what time it was. And they was watching us, binoculars, the whole nine. Everybody was scoping. Everybody was watching, because they see everything we do. They know this is a different era. And in this era, certified foundational Black American, the Black grassroots, in which we all are part of, we came to shut it down, and we did it. So when I look at the score, that is foundational Black Americans, we are up, and everybody else is down. That is foundational Black Americans. We got about 1 million points on the board, and everybody else got 0. And we're going to keep on smashing until the goddamn scoreboard breaks. That's the only way that we do. So in other words, FBA don't play in FBA all goddamn day. Family, let's get to it. I'm going to show y'all some of the footage. We're going to show y'all some of the names, the dates, and the faces. We're going to show y'all the people who got problems with us. I'm turned up, if you cannot tell. I never run out of energy, as y'all know. And I love the family with a passion. Certified salute. I appreciate everybody for pulling on up. Share this video, because you know, family, we did this as a lineage. And I am so proud. I mean, so proud, family, that we all came through. It makes me so happy to know that when we put our minds to it, we can do it. That stuff where people are always talking about negativity and they're saying what we can't do and what we should do and all that stuff, family. This is one of the few times, and it's going to be the consistency, that when we say we are going to do something, we literally did it. We did it without a doubt. Brothers and sisters came, and it's not like we sat down and said, you go left, I'm going to go right. All right, red team go, blue team go. We didn't do none of that. We just came, family, and said, we're going to watch each other's back. We're going to stand together. We're going to represent together. And anybody who has a problem with that, they're just going to have to deal with that. So I am so proud of the whole lineage. I am so proud of everybody who attended. We had ages of all. We had older brothers, older sisters. We had younger brothers, younger sisters. We had men and women. I didn't see no gender war that the Democrats on that stage try to push. I seen gender love. I didn't see no age war that the Democrats try to push. I seen brothers and sisters of all ages. I seen all foundational Black American walks of life. I didn't see no people of color. No. I didn't see no minorities. No. I didn't see no we co-created hip hops. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't see none of that. I ain't see what Fat Joe talk about. I ain't see what Busta Rhymes talk about. I ain't see what Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, I ain't see what none of them talked about. I seen a unified lineage that is more unified more than ever, that is stronger than ever, more focus, more solidarity, and more unity. We done galvanized, we done socialized. So when you do all of that, family, what is the last thing you go do? You go get your goddamn money. And that's why we came. Reparations over everything. And since it's MLK Day, then we coming to get our check. And if they thought that they didn't know, now they know. Check this out, family. This was brothers and sisters standing on business, and this was them trying to stop us. South Carolina, y'all, this is the way it went down. This is the way it went down. Check this out. I want the family to see. We were minding our own business, sitting there relaxing in a public event. And what do they tell us, y'all? What do they tell us? They tell us that, no, you can't come here. We're disinviting you. Yeah, they disinvited us from a public event. And if you think that brothers and sisters was going to walk out of there with our heads low or pull an Edmund Pettus Bridge and thank them for kicking us out, they had another thing coming. Check it out, y'all.
Listen. On behalf of the NAACP, we're disinviting you to this event. This is a private event. We're asking you, please leave.
I haven't even said that. I've been sitting here on the phone.
We're asking you, please, this way, please.
Can you just give me an explanation?
Talk about reparations. Come on.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah. Please, this way, please.
You talking about it right now?
This is on behalf of the NAACP?
Come on, y'all.
This is so unfair.
This way, please. Please.
Truly peaceful.
Actually, please.
All right, come on.
Thank you.
Reparations.
Thank you.
Reparations.
Thank you.
Look at this, y'all.
Get that one too. Come on.
Look at all this.
Let me get mine.
We're being asked to leave, and we just been relaxing. Wait, get everybody.
Who set you guys in charge of this?
I want y'all to remember this next time the NAACP starts talking.
Yeah, NAACP ain't got nothing
Remember
to do
this.
with us. They for color folks. Y'all for Palestinians, right?
With no explanation.
No explanation at all.
None at all.
These just say reparations on the stage, but you want to kick us out.
That's it.
That's why he's still talking on the stage.
And there's probably about 20, 30 brothers and sisters who are Foundation Black American Freedmen. And they taking us all out one by one for no reason at all. We were just watching.
Wouldn't even let someone come in, but now you kicking us out. We ain't did nothing wrong.
Shameful.
That's out, y'all.
Hey, that's okay though. It's a new era. The NAACP ain't popping no more.
Oh, okay, you don't want to speak. It's okay. We got you on camera.
We got them.
Don't please. It's okay, baby.
No tangibles, no vote.
They're kicking us out because we application for.
How you feel about it, brother? How you feel about that?
He got no say.
Look at that guy right there, family. Hold up. Watch how I asked that guy. And I did that on purpose because a lot of them was walking around there tap dancing and butter biscuit chasing.
Feel about it, brother?
That's what I said.
How you feel about that?
I asked him simply, how you feel about that? And look how he pleaded the fifth coon, okay? Watch how he said, I ain't got nothing to do with that, brother. I don't feel nothing about it now. In reality, he didn't give a damn. He didn't care. You know why? It's because he supported it. And on the way out, we saw a bunch of those old, outdated folks, and they were seeing us, and they knew goddamn well, family, that we were there on business, and they did not want to accept it.
He ain't got no say.
You black now. How you feel about that?
I ain't got no say.
Okay, so he feels the same way. Let me see that sign, brother. Let me see that sign.
Kicking us out.
Reparations for foundational Black American freedmen, not illegal immigration. That's why we being kicked out. That's why you see police right there. That's why you see everybody.
You said we standing on any business.
That's the only reason.
That's it right there, family. That's it right there. We were kicked out of a public event. This event was public. Yes, I said fifth coon. Yes. And he looked like maybe the 500 coon because he old as hell, but that's another story. We were kicked out of a public event, minding our own business. But family, they were harassing us from the jump. As soon as we walked into place, as soon as we came in there, they had them scopes. See, they know who's certified. See, certified is an energy. Certified is a feeling. It's a vibe. You feel me? And when you got that certified energy and you standing on lineage, trust me, you stand out from that crowd. That crowd was coming in there with their butter biscuits. They was out there tap dancing. As I said, they was on Edmund Pettus Bridge. They came for a reenactment. Because family, they went from the church where Barack Obama 2.0 was talking, and they went from that church all the way down the street, marched. Another civil rights reenactment. No Black American wants to see a march. We want money. We want reparations. And they're going to feed us 1952 as long as we allow them. We're not letting them feed us that no more. The days of feeding us that are over. Family, you're going to get old. You're going to have grandkids. They're going to have kids. And you're going to be a great-great-great-great-grandfather. And they still going to be talking about Edmund Pettus Bridge. See, the plan of the Democratic Party and supremacy as a whole, they want Black Americans to always be stuck in the 50s. They put us in the civil rights era, and they never want to let us out. Never want to let us out. And then they don't even speak of the real people in the civil rights era. Y'all know what it is. They don't talk about Huey Newton, Bobby Seale. They don't talk about Malcolm X. They don't talk about none of that. They skip over them. And then they only tell you about a version of Martin Luther King that they created. They don't give us the real Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who said we coming to get our check. Do they talk about that? No. Do they talk about the real Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who said defend yourself if somebody pressures you? Nope. Do they talk about the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who said I done integrated my people into a burning house? They don't. They keep the image that they created and also the era in which they embrace. We will sit back and watch them feed this to us forever until we do something about it. It's serious in the streets. Time is real. This is our generation and our era. If anybody's going to change it, it's going to be us. If we were ever going to do it, it's going to be now. So if you have a piece of motivation in you, I don't care if it's this small, I want you to blossom that. Blossom it and make it grow. Make it get bigger and stronger. A lot of y'all already came out the gate with motivation. But if you're working on your motivation, look at the people who already got the motivation. We can put it all together, and then we can bring energy that puts the Democrats, the Republicans, the whole system of anti-foundational Black Americans to shame. And that's what we did. So when you see that guy come and harass us, you see that guy come and speak that talk, that is the first thing that they were doing. See, they harassed us as soon as we walked in the gate because, like we say, our certified energy stands out from the crowd. They don't want to show that real story. They want to sell us Edmund Pettus Bridge. That's a cool thing. All right, that's good. But I'm going to show you how early the energy popped off, how early brothers and sisters wasn't messing around. There's a brother that I know personally, my brother EJ. And this family, I'm telling you right now, this was one of the best moments of the year to me. This started off early in the morning. They were at this church. They gave a civil rights Negro, y'all all be nice, y'all all go home, don't ask for reparations and just pray. James Coon Clyburn was there. Barack Obama 2.0 was there. And a whole church full of them 4 more years, vote Democrat blindly. It don't matter if they don't give us nothing, we gonna vote anyway. Every single outdated, old-minded person that we talk about was there. And there was a few foundational Black Americans in the building. My brother EJ was one of them. My brother EJ was the guy who was with me when we went to the Reparations Task Force, when I pressed that in Cobra dude, all right? But my brother was there and he stood up. So certified salute to him. It's a GA thing. He stood up and he started to press Barack Obama. And I want y'all to see, Barack Obama looks at him and starts stuttering. He's like, we will pray. We won't ask for anything. Hallelujah. We just going to be people of color. EJ said, well, what about reparations? He goes, we'll kind of pray and wait a minute. Then he started looking for security. He like, come on now. I'm trying to give this civil rights speech. I'm trying to bring these Black folks down. I'm trying to dilute them. I'm trying to keep them docile. And this certified brother is messing up the energy. And then you see somebody turn around and say, let him talk, baby. Let him be good. No, he done talked enough. And we done listened too long. Now it's time that we're going to interrupt. And when you interrupt, you get your money. If somebody owes you money, you don't let them say, we'll get back to you next week. You say, no, I want my money today. And we coming with that type of vibe. So I want you guys to check this out. My brother EJ, he set the tone. He set the tone. This was early in the morning and before they did their march. So they knew by the time the march happened, that energy that was in that church interrupting Barack Obama was coming right on down to the State House. Check this out, family. Y'all gonna love this video if you ain't already seen it. This is what you call standing on business, and this is what you call taking no excuses. Certified all the damn time.
Dream of a truly colorblind society.
He also believed in reparations.
With some folks who want to turn back the clock. We're dealing with some folks who want to erase our struggle, erase our journey, erase our history. But here's the thing, Black history is American history. Yeah. So we can never let anyone erase it.
We also need you to talk about our future in reparations, sir.
And by the way,
sir, we need you to talk about our future in reparations, please. We've been speaking to you all for the longest, and y'all will not answer our questions on the Black grassroots about how that we can get our reparations. Between you having the 6th poorest district in the country right now, and you not speaking on our reparations.
Sir,
ma'am.
Please, not yet. Hold your peace right now. We want to hear them. We do.
They're not answering the people. They won't answer the people. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said that we're coming to get our checks, and we haven't got our checks yet. Excuse me. I leave. I leave.
No, don't make them leave.
Communication skills are an important part of but above all else, I think at the end of the day, that Dr. King's superpower was the fact that he was a mighty man of God. I think that was Dr. King.
That part right there, family. Check this out. Now, I want to ask y'all a question. I hate to be that guy. I really hate to, but I have to. Check this out. Check this out right here. As they escort our brother out, look at that guy right there. You think he want reparations? Do you think he want reparations? I'm sorry if that's somebody's grandpa, great-grandpa. Okay, cool. But do you think that man want reparations? Do you think he give a damn about coming to get your check? Do you think that he cares about what we're trying to accomplish in the black grassroots for our future? Do you think he cares about our babies? Or is he just there to pull that lever for the Democratic Party blindly? Let's go. The guy right there behind him. This guy, Jesse Jackson V. Look at him. Do you think he want reparations? Do you think he's really here to get reparations for the future? They sold out the future a long time ago. We have to understand, those people right there, they sold out the black future 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Anybody who's in their 30s like me, we know that they sold us out before we got here. And they sold us out for some butter biscuits. And they sold us out for Martin Luther King Had a Dream. And they sold us out so they can go up in Master's house and prepare some milk and honey and get nothing. These are the type of people. And it's time we call them out. Because if we do not get them out the way, they're going to do to us the same way that they did to our children and their children's children. And the time is over. And we don't have that time. Because when they were selling us out in the 80s, there were a billion different immigrant groups coming here to replace us. This is a different time. When it was white Americans, black Americans, and they were selling us out, we had some time, okay, to correct that. Now, when you're dealing with, we're the third, fourth, fifth minority group, like Dr. Claude Anderson says, how much time do we have to wait for this guy to wake up? Family, if you ain't woke up and you 730 years old, you're going to go to sleep before you ever wake back up. And you know what sleep I'm talking about. It's time to remove that type of energy from our community. There's old brothers and sisters who are certified. But there's also old brothers and sisters who are counterfeit. And there's always been a war between the counterfeits and the certifieds. And right now, the certifieds are winning. So that counterfeit energy has to go. And that's what that person has. That's what he's got. Point blank, period. And watch as our brother leaves. Do you see anybody standing up and saying, let that brother talk? The lady said it kind of, well, no, just let him talk later. You know, ain't no later. How much longer are we going to sit back and wait? We ain't got to time. And notice, he is still talking about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. He's still talking about a speech that Martin Luther King Jr. gave in the 1960s. But yet he ain't talking about nothing. I said this a long time ago. You go to them civil rights era folks, the ones who sold out, you say, what about Trayvon Martin? They say, I was on Edmund Pettus Bridge. What about Sandra Bland? I was on Edmund Pettus Bridge. What about Atiana Jefferson? I was on Edmund Pettus Bridge. Jordan Davis, Philando Castillo, Arthur Sterling, Corinne Gaines. Where we want to go with this? In South Carolina, at those same churches where 9 brothers and sisters were harmed by Dylan Roof because somebody like them people in that audience let him walk in the door and thought they was a friend. And Joe Biden goes there and starts talking about what he's going to do for the Palestinians on our day. They were talking about Edmund Pettus Bridge while we in this generation have been losing our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents, losing our kids, losing our aunts, losing our uncles, and they talking about the 1960s. The time is over. The time is now. This is the certified foundational Black American freedman generation, and it should have been this way for a long time ago, but we ain't waiting for that. We are in the building right here today. So with that said, family, in the building, I told y'all we got some guests. And I told y'all that the foundational Black American Freedom was going to stand on business. I told y'all we was going to regulate. I've been saying that we race regulators for 3 years. And now, family, the regulation is in. This is G-check time. This is gatekeeping. This is separating from everybody and anybody who ain't on our business. And we're going to take care of our business, and we're going to do it the most professional, smooth way. So with that said, family, I want to bring up the guests that we have, as well as many more. But I want to talk about one of our sisters who was there, family, and she was holding it down, standing on business, and we all got kicked out. But guess what? When we got kicked out, we let them know what time it was when we got on the other side. This is our good sister. Y'all know her well. This is Miss Jazelle. I didn't even know that rhyme, but it did. How you doing, sister?
Hilarious. I'm good. Just getting back home. Glad that we had the experience that we did. I'm sorry, I'm trying to straighten up my phone and stuff. But yeah, we needed the world to see what happened. And I'm glad that to serve with the team that we have out here, because we really weren't inappropriate. We didn't do anything disrespectful. We actually were way more like, we weren't protesting, but they put us out and aligned us with protesters.
Yes.
You noticed that?
Yes.
And then they had them surround us. And not only that, they didn't pull out the police with all of the riot gear until they put us out. So the Palestinian protesters were out there trying to come at us, like saying, no, say no to all of this, that, and the other. We're like, no, reparations, period. And that's when the police started pushing us forward. And then they allowed the Palestinians to go back to where they pushed us from. And they told us we were going to get arrested. But they allowed the Palestinian protesters to go back just in time for Kamala Harris's speech, so that you could hear them chanting in the background. I'm so glad that we got the footage at that event. I'm so glad so many came out, and we held it down for sure. Definitely.
Sister, wasn't that what being on code looked like? You know how everybody talks about the code? Wasn't that the code? Wasn't it great to experience that?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And it was people there who weren't even with us, didn't even know we were coming. They came there talking on bloodline business. It was even a sister, an elder out there, about 80 or 90 years old, who was holding it down. She said something about the Brahmin. She said something about the Brahmin. I'm going to get you that footage. But she wasn't playing. She was out there by herself. That's why I say, when people say get rid of the elders, I'm like, nah, we got some riders out there who's not rocking with this stuff, but they get drowned out by all of these bootlegs. So that elder, that sister, she needed a huge hand clap, because they escorted her out with her oxygen tank. That's gangster to me. Sister pulled up with the oxygen tank, and she was on bloodline business, like, get rid of the Brahmin.
You know, let me tell you something. You know, when you go to handle business with your oxygen tank and you still got more energy in you than everybody there, that is only an us thing. That's an us thing. That ain't a them thing or those or they. That's an us thing. You only gonna find that right here in our lineage. And I'm telling you, so when we got there and all of us there, and I seen you right there as soon as we got up to the gate, as soon as we got there, it was like we multiplied. It was like 1, 5, 6. Everybody just started popping up. And then nobody sat down and talked and was like, hey, this is the plan. We just knew. We just knew what we was going to do. The energy was clear amongst us. Tell everybody how that was in terms of how we got together and we all just mounted up and regulated.
Literally, we came together like we together every day going day. That was funny. We was like, oh, hey, Black Alpha. And we saw Queen Alpha, beautiful as ever, and came up. Everyone started coming together. And then you was like, 3 minutes, we're going to do this. Or if everything goes down in this way, this is what we're going to do. We came in, and it wasn't with an intent to disrupt. But we were just spreading the information about reparations. Everyone was networking, getting people to know about Marcel's campaign, and that he's going up against Clyburn. And a lot of his people were they were saying, we with Clyburn because, that's our line brother. So I'm like, are y'all voting lines now? Is this the reason why y'all getting a lot of the people to be in these chapters, so that you're forcing or force of, or like, it's kind of like compelling those who are in these fraternities and sororities to vote a certain way. I was very surprised with the information that was coming out, because I never even thought about that, how they were using them. And not only that, when going back to how we came together, everybody came together and we started branching out. Everybody started branching out, spreading the information. I went in my direction, you guys went in y'all's, and we were talking to the people. Marcel was getting, people were asking questions about him, and we were good. Everybody was laughing and enjoying the day. And when they said the right things on the stage, we cheered for them. We didn't even boo the people that weren't talking the right stuff. And they still put us out anyway.
We were as civil as ever. Matter of fact, we were the most civil people there. We were the most civil people. The Palestinians family, everybody who weren't there. The Palestinians was on the other side, disruptive as hell. Cutting the speakers off, waving their flags. The same signs they said we couldn't have. They had signs and flags. And they were saying things like Genocide Joe. You feel me? All types of things. We were just simply saying we coming to get our check, which is a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King on Dr. Martin Luther King MLK Day. So we came civil as we could ever be, and we were really standing on lineage. And like you said, sister, whenever somebody would say something we agree with, we was the first ones. Okay, that's cool. You know, because we always say we businessmen and women, we not wild. We come in real, we're there. But like everybody knows about FBA, trust me, y'all, they know this all around the world. I don't give a damn if your ass is in Europe, if your ass is in Africa in the village. You know that when you bring that smoke, FBA gonna have that same smoke like nobody can.
Like the mug.
And try matching that energy. Now, you sent me something earlier, and I want to play or show this for everybody out here. And as we just showed the video of them telling us that we were disinvited. See, they just coming up with shit now. Like, when's the last time anybody, you heard someone say you're disinvited? That's not even something that is relatively even spoken. All right. So this is what they do when they want to try to stop us from being on game. But I want to show everybody this. This is something that you showed me earlier, sister. And we said we were going to show the family. So remember, family, that we were disinvited to this NAACP, this situation, right? Check this out, y'all. Event. A private event. We were disinvited from a private event, y'all. I want y'all to see right there what Mr. Jazelle had highlighted in there. I'm going to read it to you guys if you can't see it, okay? This right here, Monday, it was Monday, January 15th. It was January 15th last time I checked. Let me make it big for the fam to see. Let me make it big for the fam to see. Here we go. All right. It was January 15th, 2024. Last time I checked, it's 2024. MLK Day marketing program. They said, this is the program that they put out, basically the promotion. They say, programming details and parking. They didn't put the damn parking in there. Please join us to celebrate and honor the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the annual City of Columbia MLK Day marching program. This event is free and open to the public.
Which means it's a what type of event?
That means that it is
a public event.
For everybody to come, for everybody to see.
And open to the public. And on top of that, just to backtrack on what you said, the Palestinians had their own table at the event. They had a freaking table at the event, and they were allowing Palestinian protesters to come in talking about hashtag Free Palestine, and with a photo of traumatizing photos of dead babies.
Yes. They were extremely vulgar. And mind you, in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, in Columbia, South Carolina, in Atlanta, Georgia, all of these places at the State House, okay? State House means public. That's public grounds. Grounds. State House, I don't care where you are in America. The State House is public grounds. So if you're on public grounds, that is for the public, okay? It's not private. So all of a sudden, when we show up, public goes to private. All of a sudden now, it goes to something that everybody can come to an invitation. And they were out there left and right showing us. And I'm glad you pointed that out. The Palestinians had their own table. These people were just there operating freely. Tell us what some of the things you've seen in terms of the Palestinians, and not just the signs, not just all of the luxuries that they were benefiting from. Tell us about how they was trying to drown us out, speak over our reparations chant, and literally tether on to what we do.
Oh, absolutely. So as we're getting escorted out, I reminded the audience and everyone in this space or on this show right now, Who was the people that called the police on George Floyd? Who
Mm,
owns the food deserts in our communities? The food
mm.
deserts are owned by a lot of these other people. And those other people, those Palestinians who own those stores, have all of the poisonous food that's causing the illnesses in our youth, from cancer, high blood pressure, and diabetes. People say go to another store. Well, you go to the closest store that's to you when you don't have sources of transportation. You're talking about low income communities that they filter our people into. You know, they got us suppressed and at a very low wage earning position. This is the reason why we're fighting for reparations in the first place. These people are complicit in our genocide in this country. And that's when I started to explaining it that way. People started saying, yeah, they do own all of the stores. I said, exactly. And when you talk about them owning the stores, then they're like, well, we need to do better. One of the speakers said, we need to do better. And I'm like, how do we do better when y'all don't even allow our people to purchase the stores in our community without so much pushback? We could get the hair salons and the barbershops, but when it comes to just having normal convenience stores in our communities, or food stores, they give us the most heat. But for these other people, they could come in and in a month, they have a whole store set up, given to them. They get into the country and they can get a whole store. But anyway, as we're leaving out, we see the lady with the Palestinian with the dead babies on it. And we're like, okay, so she can be here, who's obviously a protester, but we can't be here who do, we didn't have anything that was in protest form on any of those posters. We was just telling them who reparations is for and what the focus should be, continuing the legacy of MLK. As they ushered us out of the building, we ended up, we was like, so you're gonna put us on the outside with actual protesters when we were here to enjoy the event like everybody else. Okay. As we walk out, the military starts to organize, and they are lined up like this is 1965 all over again. And here it is, the NAACP appointing, getting these the military and the local police and the Secret Service to line up in formation, guns drawn, ready to blast off on us. And when we get to the Palestinians, they start yelling, "Free Palestine!" And we like, reparations or revolution. So what they were doing they was trying to create that friction or that back and forth, because we didn't care about them in the first place. We just said, why are you here? So then they tried to come over and say, hey, we're a part of you. Look, we're on your side. No, you're not on our side. You're not on our side if you're sitting here with a damn sign talking about free Palestine when we got black men that's in prison on weed charges. You're not here on our side when your people still own the stores in our community, feeding us, our kids and our family members, poison. And then you're sitting here with a free Palestine poster instead of a get our people's stores out of our communities or put better food options into our communities. You're not for us. And they didn't like that pushback. But that particular group was allowed to come right back to where they said we had to be leave from, or we were all going to be arrested.
That is so true. And I'm glad you pointed out, was it me and you when the person started saying to us, and I'll be honestly, family, I think this was a W liberal who was with them. So it shows you who's with. And he said, I stood out here with Black Lives Matter.
Yes,
yeah,
it was us.
Right? Yeah.
Sure was.
The guy tells us, family, we're sitting there saying everything that's real, speaking the truth. And the guy says, well, y'all should be on our side. We said, why? He said, we stood out here with Black Lives Matter. Before he even finished, he got out the black L-I, and we cut him off and said, we ain't no goddamn Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
None of that.
And we don't, and I said Black Lives Matter is a fake organization, and they're not even for our people. It's fake. They're not for our people. And then that's when he was like, well, we still stand with you guys for this, that, and the other. I said, sir, you don't stand for us on anything. First of all, you're being disrespectful. When have you ever seen us come to a Palestinian protest on a day where y'all trying to get lives saved in your country or whatever you're doing? And why would you come out on a day where we're celebrating the legacy of someone who was as executed on this soil and still hasn't had his final wishes fulfilled. And he's standing there like, but let's have this conversation. We can have the conversation. Take these signs away. Leave. That's how we have the conversation. But instead of leaving, because he was set up to come there, he was able to circle back. He told the crew, he did a little point thing, and I saw them walk down the street, and they walked right on around the building and back down to stand where the Palestinians were allowed to protest at an MLK rally.
Facts on top of facts, family. They were literally allowed to do whatever they chose, whatever they please, and you can see that they're working in conjunction. This was the same Palestinian group that went to the church, I think it's AME Church, a few days prior to that, and they were tethering on to what happened to us there. They don't say nothing of the sorts of even the minimal support for us. Don't let these people run around, family, and tell you how much they support us, when in reality, y'all, you can literally just sit back and watch them, and they always say their own agenda, their own agenda, their own agenda. Then when we do it, everybody get upset, everybody get mad. Look at this footage, family. I'm going to show everybody. This is how it went down. I was glad I was able to capture this right here. Soon as we get kicked out, by the way, we get kicked out or disinvited or whatever the hell they said, none of those Palestinians came up to us and said, hey, we got your back. We in solidarity. Right. They only talk solidarity when we challenge them. Ain't that right?
Right. I wish you would have said that was a good point. Nobody ever even thought about. I didn't think about that part. If you got our back, why are you not standing there telling them to let us back in? Why didn't you flip that protest to let the Black Americans back into a protest?
Facts. They don't say nothing about it. Only thing they do is they sit there and they start cheering this and cheering that. Watch this video right here, family. I'm going to show this to the whole fam. This was them escorting us out. Literally. Look at that, by the way. That's another person of color. All right. It's another person of color right there. As they escort us out. This is immediately after we're leaving. You're seeing that type of police presence and build up. This is immediately when we walked out. Now, when we walk out, the Palestinians been out there. None of them cops were there. The Palestinians been out there waving flags, showing those signs. The cops didn't say anything. It's when we switched from the inside to the outside after we got disinvited that you seen this type of police presence. And they try to go 1952 Edmund Pettus Bridge on us, and we were not having it. Y'all check this out.
Are speaking over our reparations claim. Look at this right here. Palestinians, family, are speaking over our reparations claim. Look at this right now. Next time they try to tell you about solidarity, next time they try to tell you we got a friend and a buddy, brothers and sisters are standing on lineage, speaking on reparations, coming forth, speaking that real, and Palestinians are out here trying to out-drown us. Look at this. And nobody came to get them out. Nobody. Nobody said nothing. But when it comes to us, look at that. This is what we talking about. This is why it's a new time. No tangibles, no vote. If you ain't freedom at first, then you ain't nothing. It's all about ours.
This is my ancestors' day. You cannot have my ancestors' day. This is my day. This is my ancestors' day. Go to Palestine, you can.
Get that whole thing. We coming to get our check. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a foundational Black American, not a Palestinian, not a person of color. Look at this.
Look right there, family. Notice that when I started saying Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a foundational Black American, not a Palestinian, the woman directly left of me started to scream and get louder. When we say that they were trying to drown us out, you can literally see it in the footage. Y'all know Black Alpha Network, I would not show it unless we had receipts that were definitive and we could confirm it. So you see it right there. But then on top of that, soon as I say Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I'm going to run that back. Soon as I start clarifying, she all of a sudden starts screaming, ceasefire now. Why wasn't you that loud when foundational Black Americans was on the inside? Why weren't you that loud until we came to the outside? Because you want to drown us out in conjunction with the Democratic Party. Watch this.
Ceasefire now.
Get that whole thing. We coming to get our check. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a foundational Black American, not a Palestinian, not a person of color. at this. These two are not together. They're trying to talk over us. Don't get it twisted. We are out here dolo. All day, baby. Like on network.
Proof is in the pudding. Facts are on the table. Receipts have been dropped. Yep. Plus, we got 700 people in here, so y'all know we got to bring it all the way live, y'all. Smash that like button. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Sister, please, please, please tell us what it was like to be in that situation and to literally be able to put receipts on the table and what we've all been talking about for a long time, how these people tether onto us, how they try to drown us out, and how they try to speak their own agenda elevated above ours. Tell everybody what it was like to be in that scenario.
I just had a moment. I had to straighten up my face. I was getting ready to go back to that moment. That was so disrespectful. And then the same ones say, "Oh, we're with you." No, you're not with us. If you were with us, you wouldn't have been yelling. You would have said, "You know what? Much respect. This is MLK Day. Much respect." You're not. And I feel like the Democrats positioned these people to come. Here it is. They're on the side of Israel, correct? But you positioning Palestinians to come to our stuff. That lady knew that she could override us as far as in any way, if anything popped off. They even had a white male over there. He was looking like he was trying to get aggressive. They had a lot of white men on the outside surveying. And I'm not talking about military white men. We're talking about them cracker style white men who would pop up, like the ones that'll take one for the team so they can get an initiation somewhere. That's what was surveying. We had, the good thing was, I want to give a shout out also to the black men, because when all of this stuff was going down, it was you guys who was like, y'all got to get over here. Watch out for that. Get over here. Watch this. It was like a beautiful connection while all of this stuff is going on. Our black men surrounded us, and it was like, no, we're going to move into this direction. All right, we good right here. Pay attention to these right here. That one right here is moving funny. He's packing. And we had to watch because it was guys that was ready to shoot us out there for real. That wasn't it's not a fake thing, but just being in that energy, I did go and say a couple of things, that I ain't see caught on a couple of videos, praise the Lord. But we were responding back to them. And not only that, we let the NAACP know at that point, you will never represent us. And when we left, though, Black Alpha, how quiet did that audience get?
Oh,
the
man.
audience got quiet. Everybody looked sad, and some people left when we were leaving.
Yes. It was like they went from having our energy in the place to when our energy was gone, it went away immediately off top. And how do you know? And I'm glad you said that, sister. You just gave me an alley-oop segue right here. I want to play this for everybody real quick. And we played this last week, but it's very prevalent after us seeing it face to face. We say that these people are working in conjunction with the Democratic Party. We say that the Democratic Party was putting these people in position. Y'all remember a week ago? Now, mind you, a week ago, they were at the church where 9 brothers and sisters were harmed, and they were talking about Palestinian issues there, aka using a situation that happened to us, an anti-foundational Black American hate crime. Trust me, if anybody knows what a hate crime looks like, it's me, from seeing one in person in Jacksonville, not on video, in person. So I know what it looks like. And they literally tethered onto that situation a week ago, waits a few days, and then they tether on to Dr. Martin Luther King Day. So family, let's make this clear. We're talking about a hate crime that affected our lineage. They tethered their issue onto. And we're talking about a legend, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., in his holiday, and they tethered onto that. They're literally following the Democratic Party everywhere, and they're getting their agenda across. So now we got to side-eye that and say these people are working in conjunction. And how do you know? Not just by the way that the audience was pushed back when you were Black, but the Palestinians were allowed to say whatever they wanted. Notice how after these people interrupt Joe Biden, what happens? Joe Biden cuts a campaign speech. Don't look too real to me.
Thank you. Look, folks, I understand their passion, and I've been quietly working with the Israeli government to get them to reduce and significantly get out of Gaza. I'm using all that I can to do.
Stop. What does that have to do with us? What does that have to do with us? That ain't got nothing to do with us. And he cuts a whole campaign speech to the protesters. It's funny, though. When we protested or just spoke our voices, nobody said, I've been quietly working on reparations or we hear you. Nobody identified or acknowledged black people whenever we say something. They come and they disrupt him while he's speaking. And he sits there and tells them some tangibles he's going to give them. He sat there and said, I'm going to work for you. I'm going to help you out. He never said that to us. Nobody ever says that to us. We get told, I ain't going to do nothing for y'all specifically. No. We get told, why y'all keep fucking with me, Clyburn, who was there? And then we get denied. When these people disrupt, he tells them, I'm working with Israel. So let's get this right, family. You have the Democratic Party telling Palestinians how he's going to work with Israel, all in a church that foundational Black Americans were harmed and deleted by a W supremacist. None of that has anything to do with us. All we are is the backdrop for everyone else to get their agenda across. And then you fast forward a few days later, me and our good sister right here, as well as the other brothers and sisters, we all seen that same preferential treatment to the Palestinians, where they're allowed to bring signs, they're allowed to wave flags, they're allowed to get in the face of the police officers, but foundational Black Americans got called out just for showing up. That shows you that this is definitely working in conjunction, and the Democratic Party is serving their people of color and trying to elevate them above foundational Black Americans, point blank, period. Now, sister, this is another thing I want to bring up to you. Tell them about how soon as we walked into place, that first NAACP guy. Y'all seen the second guy who said we were disinvited. What about that second dude, or the first guy who popped up and said, I got a problem with y'all signs? Let me give everybody a backdrop. We walked in with signs, and the signs were together. You couldn't see the signs. And even if you could see the sign, you couldn't read the sign. The signs were low. He first comes to us and says, no signs. And then he said, well, let me see them. After we pressed him, full court press, after we did that, then all of a sudden he says, well, I don't like what's on the sign. And we start correcting him. We said, hold on now, just a minute ago, you said no signs. Now you're saying you don't like the sign. Which one is it, Butter Biscuit Banjo? Keep it real, Banjo. Tell us what time it is, Banjo. Speak that real. By the way, we got 717 people I'm seeing in the place. If y'all just pulling up, put in the chat where you from, FBA roll call family. I want to know where you at, what town, what city, what state. We represent to the fullest. FBA roll call in the building. This is what we do. So if you just got here, I want to see what city, what town, what state. This is the time. This is the most significant era ever. It's time for us to represent where we are. If there's ever time to tell people where you standing on lineage at, it's right now. Smash that like button, share this video. Let's try to get this 700 to at least 750, maybe 800, who knows? But sister, can you tell everybody how we press that banjo soon as he start trying to heckle us about our signs?
Oh, absolutely. When he came over the first time, he came over and he's like, y'all are not, y'all not supposed to be in here. Y'all have to leave. First, he tried to quietly pull us away. So when I noticed that, Marcel was like, wow, we're just sitting here. We're just standing here. Nobody said anything was wrong with this, that, and the other. So then that's when they was like, well, why do we have to leave? We're here just like everybody else to celebrate MLK. And he goes and say, no, y'all not, I'm looking at what y'all got on these signs. What do we have on the signs, sir? That's when I asked him, what do we have on the signs? The sign that I had said, we're coming for our checks. And it was clear, it was respectful, no disrespect at all. The other side, he said, well, let me see the other one. The other one had Ukraine on there, and it has illegal immigration. It says trillions of dollars paid to Ukraine. Trillions of dollars paid to Ukraine and illegal immigration, but $0 to reparations now. That's all the sign said. It didn't say stop helping Ukraine, stop helping these people. It didn't say any of that. The other signs were really clear. Also, it was saying we don't agree with the illegal immigration. That's what some other signs that other people had said. And that's fine. That's you just making a statement. But nothing we were doing was in the format of a protest, which is what he tried to label us as. And the biggest thing that happened at that time, guys, they said, who is your leader?
That part.
That was the biggest. The first one came over and said, we want to know what group y'all with and who is your leader. We're like, we're everyday people. What are you talking about? We don't have a leader. And we're all just gathered here for MLK Day to celebrate and get the good news out about reparations. What are you talking about, sir? As soon as he started doing more, I told every single person in the crowd, pull out your phones. They started pulling out their phones and recording. He started looking. I said, the NAACP is trying to put us out for having posters with MLK on it that's saying we want to continue his legacy. And the NAACP want to put us out for these things. And then that's when he was like, oh, no, you need to calm down. I'm like, I am calm, sir. You're the one that's not calm. He kept trying to use the trigger words like I didn't know how to calm myself down or anything like that. And we know how that rolls also. So I said, no, sir, we're calm. And that's why if you see any of the other videos that's floating around, I'm like, okay, so exactly what is it that you want us to do? Because we're not disruptive. We're not going to do this, that, and the other. We wouldn't have been effective on the outside. But we were after they put us out because everyone turned their backs against the front and they looked at us when they escorted us out. But going back to that first guy, he ended up saying, all right, y'all just got to be quiet. You can't come in here being disruptive because you being disruptive. He thought by telling me I was being disruptive, I was going to go off on him. I was like, no, we're good, sir. And he had to let us go because too many people were standing around and they asked him. The white woman came up to him and he looked like he was about to faint. Like, oh no, I didn't upset Massa. So he was doing a Massa dance. I was thinking that song with Tariq. What did you see with a Massa? That song was in my head. As soon as the white woman said, why are they getting put out? That doesn't make sense. And all of that type of stuff. They was pissed off when they saw that. When they did that. And he had to let us go. And then we walked closer to the crowd. And then after two speakers, they got us out before Kamala came on.
And that was the main thing to get us out. That's the main thing to get us out before the end. They was trying to do that ASAP. Now, I got the video. You know.
Oh, yeah. That.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Black Alpha, a.k.a. Mr. Everywhere. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show y'all. This is right here when as soon as we got there, how he started trying to press us. Watch how we press back. The problem is, y'all, they think they dealing with the African-American. They dealing with the foundational Black American. Big difference. Check this out. This is how we got them, family.
On MLK Day, reparations have to go. Also. They didn't say anything at the show. I understand. This is MLK quote. Okay, I understand.
So we can't say reparations with the NAACP?
You said we're coming to get our check.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
These are reparations.
Reparations. That's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s MLK Day, right?
This is protest.
No, that's not.
Reparations.
No, read the whole sign.
Okay, sure. Let me give you a
Read
word.
the whole sign.
Are we lying?
I don't know if you're lying or not, but it's protest.
I promise you I'm not.
This is reparations. We're saying, where you from?
Far from here, but it don't matter.
It don't matter.
What I'm saying is,
But I'm saying, no, but you said it before.
Everybody got money. We're saying we want it too.
That's what we're saying.
How are you saying? We're saying trillions for illegal immigrants, Ukraine and Israel, but zero for reparations. That's a true statement.
And you said no signs before you even saw the sign. You didn't see the sign. You said no signs before you saw it now.
No, you just said that.
I'm listening. No, I'm straight all day. Let's go.
I'm a member of the NAACP.
Look at what?
Hey, look how you trying to get tough. Y'all know them goddamn CWAs. They try to get tough. Listen.
And we had but zero for reparations. That's a true statement.
And you said no signs before you even saw the sign. You didn't see the sign. You said no signs before you saw it now.
No, you just said that.
I'm listening. No, I'm straight all day. Let's go.
I'm a member of the NAACP.
Look at what?
And we had.
But he had the signs the other way. They were stacked on each other. You saw a sign through the sign. You got X-ray vision.
Are y'all getting this? The NAACP is saying that at a Democratic event, we cannot post posters
About reparations.
talking about reparations when they said that our people are facing zero wealth by 2053, and actually it's in the 2030s. This is the NAACP.
This is the MLK quote.
I'm a member.
That's what he said. He said we're coming to get our check. Like a few weeks ago, he was killed.
No, guys,
So what is this?
This guy saw the sign through the sign. Somehow he has X-ray vision.
I ain't coming here calling no one a name or nothing.
On reparations. The NAACP just said this.
Now
I agree.
Okay, he's walking away. Okay, so that's a whole. Now he just walks away, y'all. Notice he just walked away. He got served, and then he starts walking away. That's what we talk about when we say that we own business. Before, they would have tried to play us. We told him what time it was, and his ass ended up walking away. Watch him leave just like they always do.
I agree.
Okay, he's walking away. Okay, so that's a whole lot of nothing. Ooh.
I want everybody to get this on camera.
Okay, that's only one though. Let me go to part two. This is what our sister was just alluding to. That was part one. Now watch part two when he comes back now with that who's your leader stuff. What you're going to see the video pick up in, he says, who's your leader and what group are y'all in? Okay, like you were saying, sister, he's very, very well trained in being a tap dancing butter biscuit COON. He's using all the talking points that they do. Calm down, you're being mad, what's your leader, who's your group? Go ahead. Speak on it.
Like a mug. You know how we do it in Baltimore.
all day. And watch. Y'all different in Baltimore. Watch how he tries to do it the second time, family. And we press him again. And, there's a song out there about butter biscuits. You know what I'm saying? And I happen to break out into the song. And he ain't like it too damn much. But who gives a damn? My job is to piss him off. Check this out.
That's not true. The NAACP threw him out. NAACP threw him out. I spoke to those people.
Let me tell you something.
You have not throw him out.
Nobody's doing anything.
You have two nights. I'm just telling you what I just told you.
Okay.
Listen to me. I'm not gonna come back again.
I'm cool.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
Okay, so scale what down? We're taking pictures and talking. What other people are doing.
Yeah. He said scale it down. We just literally walked in. Everybody wasn't even there. That's why when you see the crowd later, there's more of us. This is before a lot of us even got in because the lines were so long. So he said, scale it down. Marcel said, scale what down? We're talking. He's going through his democratic W supremacy puppet handbook, and we're not allowing any of those excuses to work.
So why do we have to scale down? Do these reparations signs scare y'all?
Don't scare me.
Okay, well, I say reparations.
Taste the biscuit.
MLK wanted reparations for his people.
Sorry, y'all. That's the Black Alpha acapella version of Taste the Biscuits, because the butter biscuits was flying, y'all. So please forgive me, but it was an opportunity to go ahead and tell him that he was serving them biscuits, so I had to. He got mad.
Taste the biscuit. MLK wanted reparations for his people.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the biscuit.
Okay, that's good.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
There are people protesting for Palestine. We can't protest for Black Americans to get reparations. Thank you.
Where's their reparations? You know what I'm saying? We go right down the fucking card. And see a whole, you actually what I'm doing with it, right?
We know that
where is that middle place? People who not even citizens of this country, don't speak the language, don't do, you know what I mean? Not even a part of this economy or the society. Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
Thank you, man. You're starting to get worried and whatnot. Nice to see you like that.
What up, baby? Hold it down.
No, I was going to show up. I was just waiting for someone so we can coordinate everything.
That's right.
Before he was killed, he made a speech about how America has spent billions at that time. Now it's trillions of dollars on European peasants, on white Americans to get free land. He was like, at the same time, Black Americans were getting nothing and were being terrorized. And he said, right, yes, right. The little they had was he said, the people are telling Black Americans to pull themselves up by their bootstraps while the government pulled everyone else up. So that's what I'm going to do. Literally. So to honor him, we're advocating for reparations because that is what he wanted.
I like right there what our brother said. He said, this is what Dr. Martin Luther King wanted. And the thing that we do, y'all, is that we use Dr. Martin Luther King against them. For years, they used Dr. Martin Luther King against us. Anytime we said we wanted something, they said, what would Dr. Martin Luther King do? He had a dream. Whenever we said that there's white supremacy, they said, no, Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream and packed up and left. So you see that this generation, we are too talented and too skilled for anything that they try to do to us. We are on game and on code. This is what on code looks like. It don't look like Black Lives Matter. It don't look like the NAACP. It don't look like NARC. Don't look like NCOBRA. Don't look like the liberals. Don't look like the conservatives. Don't look like red. Don't look like blue. Don't look like Joe Biden. Don't look like Donald Trump. It looks like us. That's what being on code is all about, certified. Now, I got another guest real quick, and I want to show everybody, mad love to this brother right here. This brother came with his wife, okay? And before we even got inside, when I first pulled up and met this brother, certified salute to him. His wife got told to leave. That same NAACP talk. This shows you when you're not even with a crowd, okay? We came in with 3 or 4 people, okay? Maybe 5, 6 before the rest of the brothers and sisters came. This gentleman, he came with his wife. And before I even got there, this is before the crowds gathered, they already signaled him out, and then they told him and his wife to leave, and they couldn't even come back. And it happened to a few other brothers and sisters. But then after that, there was some funny style dealings that went on with some, let's just say, undercover type of people. So when we say that the surveillance was thick, when we say that they were watching us, when we say that we were having a microscope put on us, that is exactly what happened. I want to bring my brother to the stage, man. Certified salute to you, brother. How you feeling, family?
First, I want to say it's an honor to finally meet you, good brother.
Appreciate you, family. Appreciate
Certified
you.
salute to you, Miss Jazelle. It was an honor to meet you. Where do I begin?
Let's go.
So we get there. We drove. First of all, we came 3.5 hours away because we listened to Brother Marcel, good brother Marcel, tell us Saturday, we're going to be going in hostile territory, what to expect. Let me just tell the both of you first, I'm not a rookie to this. I've been putting in work for a very long time. You see those flags behind me? That's not for show. I live for our people. I will lay my life down if I have to for our people, for the betterment of our people. And this is no shade to no other group of people on this planet. I have nothing to do with their issues or problems. This is a new year going forward. Everybody else has to hone their own nuts now. There's no more caping for no other group but our people first and foremost. In the day we finally get ours, those checks and the land back that was stolen from our ancestors many years ago is the day that I will decide then if I choose to help anybody else. Until then, my job is to serve our people. And good brother Black Alpha, I don't do this for a pat on my back. I don't do this for kudos and recognition. I do this because I love our people from the soul. I'll bleed and die for our people. I have grandchildren now. I don't want my grandchildren or any future generation to still be fighting the same damn fight that we're fighting still. And I understand our ancestors were put in certain points that they couldn't fight it all by themselves. So I get it. But if our ancestors with their good hearts would have maybe tapped into putting that good heart away and really vetting that pale-faced demon and made them shark bait when they came on this soil, maybe we wouldn't be in this position right now. But nevertheless, we're here in this hour now. 2024 has got to be the year that we stand up collectively. First, as Black men, foundational Black men have to stand up and take the damn lead. It's no sense that we went to a rally Saturday in downtown Atlanta and there was more sisters there as usual. We have to confront these cowards and these COONs. We have to confront them this year and get them out of the way because they have been in the way of our progress. So we get there. My wife says, okay, let's go ahead because we were standing back for a minute. My background, I'm ex-military. I'm a military combat veteran. I have some other security background. So I peeped the scene before I put myself and definitely my missus in any kind of situation that could get us hurt. So I'm scanning everything. So we get through the gate, we get cleared. They look at the signs, nothing wrong. Public event. We go stand off to the side. We get greeted by one of those Democratic shields trying to pass us information about Joe Biden. I says, here you go, ma'am, no disrespect, but no thank you. Oh, you must not be a Democrat. So my missus came out and said, no, we're not. If we do decide to vote, we vote on policy for it makes sense for our people, not on a name or a party. We have no business being tied to any political party because no political party has ever been in no kind of benefit for our people, period. not no NAACP, not no Urban League, because when we start doing the history looking back, these two groups were started by white men, by pale faces. They never had no good faith, anything, because their word can never be trusted. They are one of the most lying beings on this planet. So hand that to her so we can see in her face she didn't like that. So we go stand off to the side. That's when we met Ricky Manor, good brother. And then this other brother walks up with a Malcolm X t-shirt on, had the kufi on, and Ricky even said something ain't right about that brother. So I peeped game. We engaged in the conversation just to test where his mind is at, because that's where you need to see when you do your vetting process with people that look like you. You take them through a series of conversations just to see where their mental is. So there was a older lady sitting over to the side, being nosy, eavesdropping on our conversation. So she busts out, "Ooh, that conversation." So another older lady says to her, "Ma'am, it's freedom of speech. That man's not saying nothing. If you don't like it, you can move on." So I apologized to her. I said, "Well, ma'am, you know what? My apologies, my bad. I'll mind my manners, my bad." So she gets up, walks away. About 2 or 3 minutes later, here comes Suits walk up to us. They not talking to Ricky Manor, and Brother Alpha, you know how big Ricky Manor is. I'm 5'10". That brother's like 6'3", 6'4", and about 3 times my size. So it was odd when I saw him walk up. They came to me. They didn't say nothing to good brother Ricky. They didn't say nothing to my missus. They didn't say nothing to the other brother. They came directly at me because the hoodie I had on had "Pay your debt, cut our check" with the American maroon symbol on it. They know what that is because Tariq has had these symbols out well enough. When we understand our enemy and we understand our enemy studies us like we should have studied our enemy, they know what that sign, that symbol meant. They know what it is. So of course they're gonna come at me. The first thing he asked me, "What group are y'all with?" Huh? What the hell you mean what group we with? I just met him. Me and my missus just met him, and we just met him. There's no group. Well, who's the leader? Sir, we're not part of a group. We just met each other this morning. So the NAACP dude with the blue cap with the big white letters on it with all blue, he steps to me. "I want you gone." I said, "Excuse me?" "Well, we want you gone." I said, "Who the hell is we?" Just like that to him. He said, "Well, the NAACP paid for this space and it's a private event." I said, "How the hell is it a private event when y'all are not checking people at the gate? There's no checklist. There's no computer with names on. There's no invitation being handed. So how the hell is it a private event, sir? It's on public ground. This is the state capital for the state of South Carolina. That don't make sense." "Well, it is, and you got to go." So let me backtrack for a minute. Before he came, Suits came up, and that's where they asked him what group he was at, who you with, who's the leader. So he asked to see my signs. I said, "What do you need to see the signs for?" They was already checked at the gate when we came in. Nothing's on them. "Well, I want to see the signs." I said, "Okay, no smoke. Y'all are Secret Service. I already know where this can go because I've worked for the federal government. I was a paid trained killer that was trained to go to another person's land and do harm to other people on the name of this government. So I already understand how the Secret Service works. When they ask you something, you have to do it or you get in handcuffs and now you got a federal issue you're dealing with." Okay? And I learned a long time ago, you live to fight another day. Pick and choose your battle so you can win the war. That's how I was trained by my father. So show him the signs. He said, "Okay, I'll be right back." That's when Mr. Man comes with the NAACP hat and all blue, talking that crap about we got to go. So we step away. We engage with some of the uniformed Secret Service officers that were professional, that were cool, that didn't want no smoke, that didn't have an attitude, wasn't no nastiness other than two of them. The skinny white one with the beard, with the darker shades on, and then the short little fat white bald-headed one. Those are the two that wanted to put me in handcuffs. I already know it because I could tell their posture. They wanted, and they didn't like what Ricky was saying, what I was saying. But the brother with the kufi, me and Ricky both was thinking, is he a op? Because his whole mannerism was aggressive. They even had to ask him to calm down. And I'm about as militant as you can get when it comes to speaking to the enemy. But I wasn't even as aggressive as that other brother was. So we like, yeah, something ain't right with him. So we tried to distance ourselves. They told us to stand by the heater, but we were warned to go on the other side of the gate and don't come back over. I already knew what that meant. Ricky Manor knew what that meant. Because if you come back, now they got you for criminal trespassing. Whether it's a public event or not, if the Secret Service asks you to do something, go ahead and do it. Live to fight another day. We can get together, plan, strategize for something else that we need to do to address that. So as we was on the outside, we walked down the block a little bit. That's when we met good brother Marcel. We engaged with him, gave him a heads up what's going on because he had already warned that they probably going to try to target him when he shows up. So I had asked him, had he ran into you yet, Black Alpha? He said, yeah, I talked to him. So we supposed to link up at a certain time. So I said, okay, cool. So we all decided we were going to go back up by the gate, but we staggered. We didn't come because they was already talking that group stuff before they hit you two with who's your leader, what group are y'all with. So we get back up there. I believe that's when Marcel might have stepped off to look for you or to meet up with you. And then you came up and then, we introduced ourselves. We started engaging. That's when I informed you of what had taken place. Now, after the band started playing and those weirdos with the Palestine crap that ain't got nothing to do with Foundational Black America, they started their foolishness because the light-skinned guy, I don't know if he was a black man or not, but the light-skinned guy with the ponytail, with the suit, with the trench coat on, that was like their little group leader, he was allowed to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth through the gate. And a couple of times he went back through the gate, they didn't even check him. So I said, something ain't right about that. So after, everybody came back and you had stepped off and started filming Black Alpha, Marcel went to step to the side to engage with a couple of other people. I believe that's when y'all went ahead and went through. But me, Ricky Manor, my missus, and the other brother, which we tried to distance ourselves, we stayed back because, like I said, Secret Service already told us, stay on the other side of the gate until we can go talk to them to try to smooth it over. I give Secret Service credit. That black one, and the white guy, the real cool one, they tried to go talk to the NAACP and ask them what's wrong. It's a public event. How are you telling these people? Because we heard them say that it was a private event. Now, peep game. My missus was standing to the side right by the fool that came to YouTube and was talking that mess. She overheard him on the phone telling them it's 3 black guys and a black woman here to stir confusion. All we need is one more vote, and we can let the Secret Service know to ban them from this area. My wife came and told me that, so I said, yeah, let's step. Because if we don't, they're trying to set the stage of us being here as radicals, and now we know what we're going to deal with that. So we stepped that further once the band started playing. We went down the block, and we was watching from down the block, watching all of the disdain on older black people, just the evil look, how they were looking at us, the ones with their fraternity and sorority coats on and all this other foolishness, and them old Negroes that keep drinking this political game's Kool-Aid, just staring at us with such hate and disdain in their face that it was almost kind of funny because we already expected to be addressed with some hostility from that class of people. So a couple of minutes passed, and then I noticed a black and a white plain clothes, which I could identify as undercover because of my background, coming on the opposite side of the street, but was looking our way. And as soon as they crossed the street and walked past us, I said to Rick, I said, yo, bro, that's undercover. And he looked, he said, yeah, that is undercover. Because you could see the bulge of the gun in old boy's, the side of his, it was kind of positioned like towards the kidney area. You could see the bulge in the pistol grip. So I said, no problem. Helicopter flying over real low. I already know what that was about. They're taking photos and surveillance of all of us. You better be real cautious of this government, how it works. This government has so much high-tech stuff that you don't know about, that they do, that they don't even have to be on the ground. They could be up in the air. They could be blocks away and zoom in on you crystal clear and get pictures of your face. Then they had another old dusty ass dude come down, wouldn't tell us who he worked for, but was taking our pictures. So hell, I held up the sign. Hell, if you want to take the picture, here, take a picture of this. I'm no damn threat to nobody. But what I'm not going to do is sit on the damn sidelines no more and not participate, not get involved, not support you, Brother Alpha, not support you, Sister Jazelle, not support our people. Because it's not fair that we're having to fight the fight, but nevertheless, we got to fight the damn fight now. And it's not going to be fair to the younger generation coming behind us that they got to pick up a torch in a fight to fight a fight that we should have took care of because other generations didn't take care of it. Like those ones that sit in the church and drink that damn Kool-Aid. Because our initial meeting to come was to go to the church first because I've never been to Columbia. So I didn't know how close the church in the State House was. I'm like, damn, that's right up the street. But because we dealt with some traffic issues coming up, so we didn't get to about 8:15. So then we had to drive around to find a parking space. You could see the ancestors was on our side because we parked at the First Citizen Bank, I think it is, on that corner. We parked in their parking lot, which was literally what, maybe 100, 150 feet to the gate. But we sat back and we noticed just a lot of stuff that didn't seem right, like that U-Haul truck that was sitting there. Normally, when they do that kind of stuff and they got a security barrier, they move stuff out the way. Why was that U-Haul truck still sitting there? See, these are things that I peep because of my background, because at the end of the day, it's about the safety and protection of our people. I might not be the best well-spoken. I may not be the most knowledgeable, but I do know a lot about our history. But one thing I am, Black Alpha and Sister Jazelle, I am a warrior. I know my bloodline are warriors. They didn't sit on the plantation if they was enslaved and just took that crap. I know they fought. My father raised me from 8 years old and up. My first book was The Beginner's Guide to the Black Holocaust. My father raised me this way because he knew one day I was going to have to step up as a Black man and hold it down. Like I said, I don't do this for a pat on my back, for no kudos, for no recognition. Like Marcel, I'm kind of an introvert. I don't like being in a large group of people because anything can jump off, and you got to know who's with you and who's not with you. If it means there's something for them to gain, that's just who they are. And I'm like I say, I'm not speaking hate. I'm speaking historical facts because we see it and live it every day. On our own land that was stolen from us, we are behind enemy lines. We are behind enemy lines, and they wouldn't be more than happy than to let another class of people come here and deal with us.
That part.
So
I'm gonna let you know, brother.
We're gonna have to get on point.
Yeah. Hey, much respect, brother, for sharing your story. I don't know if you've been looking at the chat, but everybody in the chat is blowing it up, brother, because you speaking real heavy facts, family. And I'm gonna definitely keep in touch with you and definitely respect you, brother. You certified, you solid, and you speak for our people, brother. And one thing we know is when someone's speaking with passion and it's coming from a real place, brother, and you got that real certified energy, brother. People like you, people like Miss Jazelle, and all of us together, we can't lose, brother. So I appreciate
We won't lose. We're going to survive this. Like I said, they've thrown everything at us. We survived it all. We're going to survive this one too. It just so happened that there was an old saying, laugh now, cry later. We're going to be the ones laughing later. We may shed some tears now, but we're going to be victorious at the end of it. Just watch.
That part. Brother,
love
you have a good one, family.
Peace and love and protection.
Certified salute, brother.
Certified salute. We'll talk.
Definitely. Much respect, much respect, much respect. Yeah. Can you hear me, my good sister? You might be muted. I can't hear you, sister. Yeah. Nah, I lost you. I lost your audio. It's still out. Still out. Oh, yeah, it's on mute. All right, family. Let me tell y'all like this. We still got some more, family. When a brother come in spitting like that, you let him go ahead and rock. So I let our brother go ahead and spit it. And if you notice, every single thing that was said was 100% positive and 100% what was coming from what happened yesterday, what we need to do today, what we need to do in the future, what we did in the past. And it all comes up to this moment right here. Brother, I send you a certified salute. I appreciate that. I met that brother yesterday and his wife, man. It was much love and much respect. And when a brother's on that type of time, we got to let it ride. So I appreciate that type of energy. I appreciate him coming to the stage, and I appreciate the love that everybody showed you. On the Black Alpha Network, it don't matter. Any of y'all can come on up. Anybody want to talk, anybody want to speak, come up, because this is real. This is for all of us. We are the people. I always say Black Alpha. I say I'm the people's champ. Well, therefore, we got to represent the people, and the people can always come, and we can rock as a family, y'all. And that's exactly what we were doing yesterday, and that's what we're going to continue to do. I got some more footage I want to show y'all, but I want y'all to think about what that brother said, okay? That brother made a point about how there was a whole lot of ops floating around. And these people were eyeing us and watching us. I got sent the video. I'm about to show y'all this. And we got 700 people in the place. So I'm definitely going to show y'all this. Certified salute to everybody. There was a video that came to me yesterday. And it showed us that we were being watched from an aerial point of view. Yes, they were. They was watching us from the sky. Now, overseeing the whole audience, these people weren't just looking at the folks all across the whole space. They were focusing on us. I think our good sister's going to come back too, family. But they were focused on us all the way across the board. So I want everybody to see this right now. They literally pulled out the water hose, and they was about to go 1952 on us. This shows you the resistance. And I said something in the audio, and to be honest with you, family, it's one of the quotes of the year. And I said, basically, when you demand reparations, they pull out weapons. And that's to the point, because this is all about reparations. Everything that you see today is about reparations. All the hate, all the jealousy, all the envy, all the vitriol, all these folks coming into our country, hopping, skipping, jumping, flying, however they get here. It is all about us being on code and all about us trying to get our reparations. When we got on code and we started saying we want to come get that check, you started seeing different behavior out of everybody. Now, all of a sudden, you see people teaming up. They got coalitions. They got groups and organizations. And why is that, y'all? That is only based on the part that we are out here putting in work. Look at this photo yesterday, family. I have not showed this to everybody. I want y'all to see this. That is me right there. This is the photo of the year. As they always try to put some Black Lives Matter person on Time magazine. They always want to put Black Lives Matter, some type of can't we all get along person somewhere. Check this out, family. Check this out right here. This is me, Black Alpha Network. Behind me, there is a whole wall full of security. They have on helmets, they have on vests, and you see they have weapons. They have weapons, and we were just standing up, standing forward, and speaking on reparations. That is the only reason. All of those other people who were there, they did not have that same type of time, that type of energy. They allowed them folks to do whatever they wanted to do. But when it came to us, this is the type of treatment that we received, family. They gave us that type of energy. They're literally behind us with weaponry. They literally pulled out a fire truck. They were literally threatening us just for holding up signs. This is why we have to stay true to ourselves. This is the type of issues that we're dealing with. This is the type of adversary that faces us. And this is why this is foundational Black American, Black grassroots, the regulating era. Only G-checking and regulating is going to handle something like that. Only G-checking and regulating is going to be able to fend off something like that. If somebody's coming with some can't we all get along energy, they going to lose. If somebody is coming with some all lives matter energy, they going to lose. If somebody is coming in that type of situation with the people of color, we all friends, they are going to lose. Vote blue no matter who, already lost. That was yesterday, family, and I wanted to take that picture because I wanted to send this to everybody. I want the whole family to see it. Those who couldn't be there, those who couldn't make it, I wanted y'all to see that it wasn't just me right there. It was all the brothers and sisters. Those who were present and those who weren't. But we all represent as a family. So as you see Black Alpha, you see every foundational Black American freedman in the same picture right there with me. This ain't nothing to me. I stood right there in Jacksonville, Florida in front of a hate crime when they still had the ambulance out in front of a whole army full of supremacists. That don't mean nothing. This right here was just something I wanted to show the family on the flip side. So we do this over here. We do this. And this is just like our good brother was talking about, fearless. And you had fearless brothers and sisters. You had fearless old folks and young folks. But we were all there collectively. And I knew wasn't nothing going to happen as long as the team was there. Look at this video that went along with it. Look at the way we get treated when we demand reparations.
Look at this, y'all. They're turning on the fire truck, and they're about to go full 1960 on us. They're threatening to spray us. No lie. They probably gonna pull out some goddamn dogs. They trying to go 1962. They trying to go full lynching. They're literally out here firing up the truck like they about to spray us like we in motherfucking Selma. Ain't gonna be none of that this time. Whole different time, whole different era. Trust me when I tell you, please believe. Brothers and sisters standing on lineage. Look at this. Look at this. That man right there. That police officer got a gun. Look at this. Both of them. He got his hand on his. The black man. Look at them. They got their hands on their weapons. We're literally in front of weapons, y'all. Look at this. So if you ask for reparations, if you demand reparations, they literally pull out weapons. This is where we are. They pull out guns for speaking on reparations. Demand reparations and they pulling out pistols. They pulling out shotties.
I'm going to reparations now.
Got a gun. Look at this. Both of them. He got his hand on his. The black man. Look at them. They got their hands on their weapons. We're literally in front of weapons, y'all. Look at this. So if you ask for reparations, if you demand reparations, they literally pull out weapons. This is where we are. They pull out guns for speaking on reparations. Demand reparations and they pulling out pistols. They're pulling out shotties.
I'm going to reparations now. I'm playing. His son.
Look at that right there, family. You can't get any more evidence of how it played out yesterday, family. You can't get any more evidence. And with that said, you guys, we not done. We not done. We just getting started. We got 700 people in here. We only been on for 2 hours. We bubbling. That right there was true to power. Did anybody see anyone from the other group that was trying to drown us out come in and hold us down? No, you see black people holding down black people. You don't see any brown people. So the myth that these people are all on the same page as us, they're all our friends, is a damn lie. And we've exposed it with footage. We've exposed it with facts. We exposed it with receipts. Now, I got my good sister, Miss Jazelle, back in the building. Now, y'all know a party ain't a party. Foundational Black American Freemen, we ain't bubbling unless we got this good brother right here in the building, in the place.
Hey, y'all.
Ball hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, Alpha. Hey, Mr. Zell, how are y'all?
We are amazing.
Was it just yesterday when we?
It was just yesterday.
God, it seems like it's been forever. God, it seems so much happened. Like a week happened, and within a few hours.
Literally.
I was gonna ask. I'll say, man, what y'all do for Martin Luther King Day? I don't know, man. I just chilled out last night, man. I didn't really go nowhere, attend any type of gatherings. I didn't see nobody at all, man. It was just a regular MLK Day. Hey, Marcel, brother, okay, now we spoke about this last night on the space, but I don't think the whole family has seen this. Before I actually continue and ask you some questions, brother, about what went down yesterday, I want to show this footage to everybody as we speak about the audience and how we were being watched, how we was being surveillanced, how we're being monitored. And for those of us who were there, we knew that was kind of in play. Our good brother spoke about it earlier. Our sister spoke about it. I want y'all to see this footage right here, brother Marcel. Then I'll let you cook, brother. You already know. I'll fall back and let you go ahead and go to work, my brother. Y'all check this out, family, right here. This is yesterday at the event that we went to. You seen the footage from the ground. Now I want everyone to see the footage from the sky. There's a couple people in the audience that they're focusing on, and they're not worrying about everybody else. The video we started off with, where that NAACP guy came up to us, the COON, and the first thing he said was, are y'all group and y'all got to leave? Well, we got disinvited. This footage is going to pick up when we were being disinvited. And notice that the same crowd that came to us is the same visuals that you see from the sky. In other words, translation, they were watching Foundational Black Americans because they was monitoring us. Watch this. Wow, wait a minute. You notice? I didn't even notice this. I just caught something. Hold up. Before I even say this, y'all notice right there, you can hear the ceasefire now chants.
Yep.
And the footage is about to show us. So when we're getting pulled out and said that we're disrupting, right here, you can hear the ceasefire now chant. So they were the ones making all the noise. Here we go.
Let us pray.
Gracious God, as we gather
Right to
here
us.
today to celebrate life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther.
There go Brother Marcel right there. There go Black Alpha Network right there.
EJ.
EJ right there, standing on business. Come on. Now, family, y'all just heard the ceasefire now chants. If we were being so loud, how come you can hear them over us? If we were disrupting the event, how come you can hear them over us? Because they're working with the Democrats. Here we go. I'll let it play and then I'll let you guys cook.
Luther King Jr. We ask that your spirit be present among us as we reflect on what this day means for us and for our ongoing work for peace and justice.
That guy right there, family, this guy right here who's the first guy who came up, and he said, we got to bring in the police. As soon as he came, the NAACP guy came, and then all the police came.
Be with us. We know we've made many good strides towards a better world, but we also know we have a lot.
Oh, wait a minute. I see you, Miss Jazelle. Hold on. We're going to single that out. Wait a minute. Freeze.
We ask that your spirit be present among us as we reflect on what this day means for us and for our ongoing work for peace and justice. Be with us. We know we've made many good strides towards a better world, but we also...
Here go Miss Jazelle right there with the sign. Right there, holding it down. Right there. Matter of fact, I was right there recording it. There you go, right there.
know we have a long, long way to go to bring about.
There go Queen Alpha right there with the Loke song, looking like she from California, looking like she got that on TWA, but right there.
A peace and an end to racism.
And there go all the police. There go the Palestinian flag.
Fill our hearts with love for all.
There go Marcel again right there crossing. Now we're the real territory. Now this is where we really came in the footage that y'all just seen a second ago. That was it right then and there. Brother Marcel, Sister Jazelle, tell me how you feel about that situation. Tell everybody how it went down from your perspectives.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Mrs. L.
Ladies
first.
You take it, Marcel, because I'm processing right now.
Well, first of all, y'all know we underestimate how much they listen to us and how much they watch us, because they already knew, because before we even got there, at least a good, 11 of our fellow reparationists were put out. First, it was Ricky and the gentleman and his wife, and then they put out FBA Goddess, Nick, and it was like 5 other people with them. And then I think his name is Travis, or is it Tevin? Travis. He went in with another gentleman. They put them out. And unlike, I don't know about FBA Goddess, she got the type of energy we got, but Travis is kind of laid back and pretty, laid back. And Ricky said they were all just sitting there talking to each other, not being loud or nothing like that. They were just told to leave. Not that they couldn't have any signs permitted, but to leave. Now, I thought about what happened. I'm suing certain people. So they didn't tell us to leave right away. They was like, you can't have signs. If they could have just easily said, get out right away. I think they were trying to be very cautious with the way they approach me, because we had already mentioned, remember on the space, I was like, if they try to tell us we can't come in just because they don't like us, that's a violation of our constitutional rights. Remember that? So they were trying to come up and manufacture a reason to have us put out. And we stood our damn ground. And we didn't make necessarily a massive scene, but we stood our ground and we weren't quiet about it, Miss Jazelle and I. Because first the guy was like, no signs. And then Miss Jazelle was like, I haven't seen that written nowhere. I was like, I haven't either. And then he was like, well, that's a protest sign. I was like, you don't even know what the sign says. This is a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is MLK Day, the man you're claiming to honor. This is a quote from him. So how are you telling me that you can't have a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on MLK Day? And then he was like, well, let me see the other one. You see, fishing for a reason. I was like, okay, here you go. And he was like, you see what this one says here? It says reparations now. He was like, read all of it. Read all of it. Mrs. L said it says that trillions for illegal immigrants, Ukrainians, and for the nation of Israel, but we have not gotten anything. It say these other groups have gotten money, and we deserve our money that we have yet to get. So, you know, he kind of backed off. Then these two old ladies, Marcel, you remember the two elderly ladies, they came up. They was like, what's wrong with the sign that they have? You mean to tell me they can't have reparations? And they joined in and started joining on him too. So he backed off. So then, as people have seen in the video, I'm speaking with people. We are just educating people. Like I said, we were there to do. You know, DJ introduced me to his cousin, who's a police officer. I was speaking with the police officers. Then I spoke with the two white ladies. And, you know, we were just going around speaking and showing us. We were there to do a show of support for reparations to educate people. We were doing that. Then he comes back. He's like, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. Hey, this is a message from the Secret Service. Y'all need to scale it down. Scale what down? I said to him. Now, the first time I was clapping back, but I was trying to be, you know, a little more diplomatic. The second time, I said, scale what down? Everyone's standing around and talking with each other and taking photos. We're doing the same thing. So what do we need to scale down that others do not need to scale down? I said, do these reparation signs bother you that much? Are y'all that threatened by reparations? I said, are y'all that threatened that our people might see that we are actually owed reparations and y'all are not advocating for it? He was like, no, I'm for reparations. I said, okay, well, then you should have no problems with these signs. He's like, it's from the Secret Service. We already put some of your people out. First of all, what do you mean some of our people? We are not a group. I said, no, Secret Service has not put out anyone. I saw the footage. Y'all put them out. Secret Service actually said it was okay. So then we go into the audience to hear the speeches, you know, as usual, Democratic talking points, Bible babble. And I respect the Bible, but in this case, it was just the same old, you know, quoting scriptures and make it seem as if that's policy for us. No other group you can go to and just quote a scripture or quote the Quran or quote the Talmud. You know, you got to go to people with policies. But in any case, though, you can get jewels from everything. The guy that was up there, talk about an African born as a Jew or whatever he was saying. He did say you got to act a fool sometimes, not getting what you deserve. He said that. And I was like, you're right. He said that several times. He's like, sometimes you got to be willing to act a fool. Now, the second guy came up there. That guy came up there. It was almost like he knew we were in the audience and we got him and he had us. He came up there like Black Americans. He didn't say Black, he said Black Americans. He said, ain't no one been through as much as what y'all have been through. And he was like, no one's old as much as y'all's old. And then he went on saying how Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a lot of people like to quote him, but they want to cherry pick. How Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said it didn't cost this nation one penny to integrate the lunch counters, to give people the right to vote. He said, but now it's going to cost them billions of dollars to right the wrongs they done. And he was like, we don't owe this nation nothing. This nation owes us. And here we are clapping and say, that's right, reparations. What's so bad about that? They were chanting. They had them doing that little sorry, dried up quote that they dust off every election year where they want to make Black Americans feel like symbolism is something for which we can vote. That's ready to go, fired up, ready to go, fired up. They were chanting. Okay, we were just saying reparations and clapping. You know, the audience was very depressed. That's why they kept trying to do that fired up, ready to go chant, because the audience was very depressed. They hardly clapped. They hardly said anything. Matter of fact, our energy was starting to become contagious because when I asked whose man is this, I was just really saying as a figure of speech, but people started telling me, it was like, that's James Johnson from Charleston, baby. They're like, he's always like that. So people were feeling our energy. Here comes, I guess, that guy in the blue suit who was security with two event employees, having them stand there. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like, he was like, you got him? He wasn't like looking at us or nothing. He wasn't even looking at the two event employees. Even they were looking like, why you got us standing here? So then the guy with the another NAACP member, who I'm an NAACP member of South Carolina as well, you know, never did anything good for us. I joined thinking they could help me with my case against my former district in school. And I just did not trust them, and you see why. And that's why, Mrs. Zell, when you asked the first guy that tried to make an issue with our signs, you asked him, where are you from? And I jumped there like, he's from South Carolina. I said, that's how a lot of them act around here. And that's how a lot of them are. A lot of them. But anyway, Then the guy came back to us on behalf of the NAACP. I'm thinking he's gonna be like, "Want to invite y'all?" I knew he was gonna ask now, but I was like, maybe he's gonna invite us to sit on stage, like on behalf of the NAACP. The way he sounded off, so I like, let's invite y'all to this event, and I left. So I left right away. I'm used to being kicked out of it. It happens all the time to me. Right. So I already knew. That's why I just like, okay, this is just par for the course for me. But the good news is, on the way out, I'm glad we raised all hell.
Yep.
Okay, about our reparations message. That's called planting seeds. We don't know where those seeds were planted. Another reason why I'm glad it happened, because our people who were put out earlier were holding it down outside of those gates. They were outnumbered maybe one reparationist to every 3 Palestinian ceasefire protester, and yet all you heard was reparations, because that female energy is a whole other level. But they needed us out there, and when we came out there, it really got kicked off. And you had 2 factions, like I said on the Twitter space, of the Palestinian ceasefire protesters. The ones that joined us, and then you had the other side that tried to compete with us and realized they didn't want those type of problems, and they left. Right. One of them left, and the other ones went and had their little Starbucks coffee and sat on that little plot of grass that was over there. Remember, they sat on that little plot of grass between some restaurants or something that was over there. And then all you pretty much heard was alternations of reparations until the SWAT tried to drown us out with the air horn, and then turning on the engine for the ambulance and stuff like that.
Yep.
But all in all, it was great. We got the message out. We got to speak with people, and us holding those Twitter spaces to help coordinate things, I believe, really, really helped as well, because we did exactly as we had discussed. We stayed by each other. We had our signs, and we had each other's backs. And that one that talk about don't come to my city, we was all up in the city. All up in the city. No one was even thinking about him, and he knew not to come to us with no nonsense. All up in that city.
I forgot all about him, brother. He did say that, didn't he?
No one's thinking about him.
Damn. Hey, before I'm gonna have you mention this as well, Sister Jazelle. But y'all just brought up something. Y'all know my cameras was rolling. Y'all know I caught that dude, right? Hold up. Here we go. I caught this. To the family that wasn't there, this is the dude right here that we were just talking about.
No tangible, no vote.
Nationality of people in this country rich, but ourselves.
That's right.
Get him. Economy, we should have had schools, colleges.
Yes, sir. Get him, Doc. Tell him, Doc.
We have to build a system within this system, because this system keeps its fist on our neck.
That's right. Get him.
So what I'm telling you, my people, organize that $1.2 trillion that we spent. 2% only stays in our community. 98% goes someplace else. We are better than that. We are educated people. Let's organize from coast to coast.
This guy
and build our system.
That sound like we was being good participants to me. Sound like we was going right.
The guy was on a high energy level, and he was trying to get that depressed crowd on a high energy level as well. Right. And he was feeling the enthusiasm. Now, he may not be where we are on certain things, but I've heard that guy speak before, but I always forget his name. He has mentioned reparations before. And, when he started speaking, we got quiet.
Yep.
Okay?
We listened to.
I have no idea we know what was the issue. But anyway, it all worked out to our advantage. We did what we came to do. I am disappointed that we weren't able to be there to hear Kamala Harris's speech, because we were going to put her on notice about reparations as well. But guess what? She knows, because I don't know if you looked up Mrs. L or Alpha, but I've looked up several reports about the event, and all of them mentioned there were protesters shouting reparations. It's out there, and I'm gonna post it to my Twitter so y'all can see I've looked up several, and all of them mentioned. A few don't, because they're trying to make us seem irrelevant. They're desperate when they're mentioning the people who are advocating for ceasefire in Israel, but they're not mentioning us. They're desperate to try to make us seem irrelevant. That shows they're deliberate. That shows you have a bunch of white liberal pastors or a bunch of raccoons who are or just a bunch of jello spine people who are working in these publishing houses, and they are too cowardly or so anti-Black American. They're trying to make our movement irrelevant, and yet we've been succeeding. They've been trying that. That's not new. But in several reports, they've mentioned reparationists who were there advocating for reparations. I'm going to post it to my Twitter page. So we did what we came to do. And Kamala Harris, when she gets her debriefs every morning, that was mentioned to her. Hell, she knew it right then and there that very day. They was telling her right there in the background, hey, we got those reparations protest. We're going to push them back. She knows. They debrief on everything.
You know what I wanted to add? Because some things that you pointed out when they were speaking, and even when we were saying reparations now, it was fired up. People, when they watched us get escorted out for not being disruptive at all, you saw and you felt the sadness from a lot of those other people that did not understand it in the audience.
People looked confused. They was like,
even what? The police, guys, even the police were confused. They was like, what did they do exactly? Like, why are they getting escorted out for cheering for what they just said on the stage? You can see in their face, the white cop looked like, that's the first time I'm going to defend on that side. The ones that was on the side, they was like, okay, so they got to, they even said, I'm sorry, we got to do this.
No, let me tell you how I know that they were confused, because I saw other people being escorted. I don't know what they did. And I don't know if you saw it was like a short little white lady. She was they were kind of escorting people out before. I don't know what these ones had done. But when I came over there, they paid me no attention. When other people were being escorted out, they knew to expect them, almost as if they got some type of call about them. When I came over there, it was almost like they didn't know we was being escorted out. So I was like, hey, where'd you leave? She was like, leave. She was like, yeah. She was like, go that way, go that way. But the other ones, the moment they got to that area, they was like, hey, y'all go this way. When we was coming out, it was almost like they didn't even know to expect us.
And the worst part was they actually allowed the woman to bring the photo.
I know, of the dead children.
With the 3 dead babies.
Right, those were babies.
How traumatizing is that? We're saying, hey, reparations. Oh, no, that's a bad flyer. But 3 dead babies is okay. Blood all over the place. I mean, these were very graphic photos. And then the other poster said, free Palestine. And Palestine, the Palestinian protesters had a whole table there. And they tried to pivot some of the conversations in the speeches, including the fight with Israel and Palestine.
Yep.
But, and when you hear what's her name in the background, Kamala Harris's speech, because I was listening to it, the first thing that I heard was them. was them doing that in the background.
Well, let me tell you, we have to also give Brandon Upson credit, because he mentioned reparations loud and clear, and he mentioned it with his chest. Brandon Upson got up there and he was like, look, we on this day, it would be, what did he say? An affront to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy not to mention reparations. Now, he's like a Nina Turner in a sense. They are they're Black progressives. So he mentioned all the, living wage and what he mentioned all this other stuff too, but he did mention reparations clearly. So we have to give ourselves a victory lap. It got mentioned. One person actually said the word, and the older gentleman, our elder, because that's the true elder there. He pretty much, he never said the actual word, but that's to what he was speaking about, how we are old.
Yeah, and big ups to the elder who was there by herself with the oxygen tank. I am going to shout her out again. I'm going to send you and Black out for that video. Miss T posted it. Let me tell you, this sister was like, she had to be like 80, 90 years old. this lady was there with an oxygen tank, and she was saying something about the Brahmin. Get rid of the Brahmin. It was so.
Really?
She was out there gangsters ever. I was so I felt humble in her
She's with the
presence.
ceasefire people?
No, this was one of our elders.
She was with the
by herself to protest by herself. So
with us.
No, she wasn't near us. She just was there. She showed up, made her own decision to show up. And this sister came there by herself. By herself. It was amazing.
Yeah, I seen her. There was a bunch of older people there that was really, really on that same time we was on.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah,
that crowd was so diverse.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I said the only young people there were the ones who needed a ride home. And that was it. The ones who needed a ride home, you could tell they marched with the band and did their little thing, which the band was incredible.
Right.
Incredible band. And then they needed a ride home. Now, the number, did any of y'all get a count? So I know I counted like around 42 of us. Did any of y'all get a count? Because it was you, Black Alpha, your wife. It was you, Miss Jazelle. It was Rick. It was the guy that was with Rick and his wife. It was EJ, and he had his two cousins. Right. Of course, it was me. Then it was the tall guy that had on the green hoodie. Mario was there. Mia was there. I can't. It was the very thin guy that told me he lived in Charleston. It was the older guy out there that told me he was from Charleston. It was the couple, the lady that as soon as we stepped at the gate, the man was like, "Hey, my wife loves you," and then it was his wife. I think she had her son with her.
Yep.
No, it was another mother, and her son was out there.
Right.
And who? Let me think.
It was two other ones that just came out. She was.
I'm trying to process everyone. It was Travis Talley was out there. Okay, so that round we had 30, and then it was. He had some guy with him. Some people told me they weren't on Twitter at all. And I don't know who the other people, FBA guys had. It was her and Nick, but they had like 3 or 4 other people with them. I don't know who they were. I can't remember everybody's name. Okay. Right. And I don't want to figure anyone. So that was there. And then you had the guy who calls himself Autistic Gamer. He was there with us. And
EJ.
Yeah, I counted EJ already.
It was Duty and his wife. The young brother who spoke earlier, Duty. Is that Duty? Duty and his wife? Yeah. Duddy? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his wife. Okay. Then it was the guy that had the beard. Was that?
Yeah, that guy right there. What was the young brother? I think his name was Sean. I think his mother's in the chat who stood next to us and was talking to us.
It was
good
him.
brother. Salute to his mother, by the way.
Then it was the two. It was Miss T, Miss Eddings. Okay. It was. I wish I would have had. It was a lot of us out there. We had a good showing. But they kicked so many of us out at different times. Oh, Samson was out there, but he wasn't with us. He got caught when they pushed us back. He got caught in between the gate. So it was close to 40 to 42 of us out there. Okay,
right.
We was at least like 20% of the crowd. The crowd.
Marcel.
I've never been to this event before, but sometimes they always have it on TV. The crowd was actually larger last year. And the vice president should have been able to pull a much larger crowd than that.
Right.
All she pulled was the ones you usually see in church on Sundays. That's nothing to be proud of.
You know what, Greg? They didn't. I don't even think they did that. If you notice, it's like she did a call for all of the sororities and fraternities. That's who was there.
And the most democratic shells, the loyal democratic voters.
I feel like the entire crowd, they said, we need y'all here. Y'all have to be present. And it looks like it was more the older ones.
It was older, right?
And it wasn't like some of the young ones was there, but they wasn't feeling that.
Oh, and the youngest ones were like kids who had to be out there with their parents.
Yep. As soon as it was over, as soon as the band did their thing and did the march, they didn't even stick around. They left. That's how irrelevant she is, or like the idea of even listening to the president is to the youth. They came to do it because they had to. And I feel like This is what they've been doing across the country, is getting to these. And you went to one of the events also, Black Alpha, down in Atlanta. But they're trying to get a younger audience, because a lot of their their stuff is dying off. So they're trying to get the schools. So they know the youth are not just going to automatically come if they give out flyers. So they specifically targeted the sororities and the fraternities.
And that's why this was so important. Now, I am not a protester. I'm usually not the one marching in the street with signs, but it was double fold. I felt like this event could not happen and there not be anyone out there advocating for reparations, when that was the last thing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. made it very clear for which he was going to push. He realized that integration, he said it, he pretty much admitted it was a mistake.
Right.
He's like, I integrated my people to a burning building. He realized that, hell, this integration stuff, we need reparations, okay? And it's not like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had not spoken about reparations before. He said a society that had done something against the Negro for 300 years now needs to do something special for the Negro. He didn't say the word reparations, but that's what was in his mind. Okay? Right. It would have been wrong for this to have happened and for all people to hear were calls for a ceasefire in Israel. I don't know if y'all saw the news broadcast. All you hear is reparations.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't seen it on my page?
I'm going to have to check that one out. No,
you haven't seen it? And you can see that there's a bunch of Palestinian flags, but all you hear is reparations.
That's on your page?
Huh?
That's on your page?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm checking it out.
I have to share that.
It's on my page. The funny thing is that the reporter, he was like, you hear some calls for a ceasefire in Israel. You hear people calling for reparations. Yes. It's been mentioned on the news several times that people were out there calling for reparations. Did they expound upon it? No.
Heck no.
But the fact is that even got a mention, and this is something that little old us did, great. But the main thing we have to do is education, because that's what they're doing. Now, they suck at it. And the thing is, they have nothing for which to brag. And a lot of our people are wising up. They're realizing that all this phony rising tide lifts all boats stuff is not delivering anything substantially beneficial to the free men community. They realize that Black Americans are still languishing to the bottom. We have something real and tangible and substantive that we can bring to our people and for which we have to educate them. And it's not just going to be our people. Like I said in my tweet, we have no choice. We're going to have to speak to white people too. We're going to have to speak to a lot of white people. And really, we spoke to more white people out there than we spoke to our own. Okay, now that I'm thinking of it. But we have to show up. Not enough of us are showing up. But too many of us are quick to speak out about things that are nonsensical, about things that are irrelevant, okay? About things that are of little importance. When it's time to show up, I'm not saying we have to go to a protest and march. I'm just saying every single day we should be educating people. That's why I've been pushing us. You know, you can run for office or you could be a person to support the person running for office. But we need reparations running for office. You're going to have other things on your platform. Unless you are in like an 80% Black area, which is hard to find. And if you do find, it's going to be a very small town or a city like Detroit, who has an Indian mayor, by the way. That's a whole other conversation. You're going to have other things on your platform besides reparations. But reparations must be on your platform. We're not against other groups getting things. We're not against helping other groups. That's been the problem. We've been all about other groups getting things. We've been all about other groups benefiting. It's time for us to be a little self-interested now. So reparations must be on our platform. If that's not something that interests you, start a political action committee. We have Google. You can look it up right now as we speak. You don't need Marcel to explain everything. You can go to Google and look up Political Action Committee. You can get an unlimited amount of donations, and you can get paid simply to help educate and advocate for a message about which you're passionate. You can start a nonprofit that's a media company. We have to get this message out there. We know the mainstream media is going to annoy us. We know that we have enemies high and low. and they're not going to push this message. Now they're trying to hijack the reparations message. Cori Bush introduced her phony reparations initiative, knowing it's phony. It's race-based, so she knows it gets shot down, knowing damn well that reparations is status, lineage-based. Now Jamal Bowman is trying to come out there talk about reparations for black people and people of African descent. They're trying to hijack it. They can't stop it, so now they're trying to hijack it, and that will succeed. And what's going to happen is they will say, okay, the bill passed Congress, y'all. Supreme Court will challenge it. It'll get struck down because of race, and they'll say, you see, y'all, we just can't do reparations because we can't do race-based legislation, and that will get stuck in the minds of our people, and they will give up on it forever when we are waking them up to have hope for it. We have to educate people. If not, they're going to miseducate people. And I'm talking about, we already know the Republicans are going to do it, but the Democrats will do it even better.
Brother, I got to show everybody want to see the video, brother. Everything right there that you were saying, family, about how we need to come there, it was so great to watch it materialize, brother, because you were the first one who told me about this. And just to see where it went and to see that actually, what we was thinking, we was going to get, what, 15 people?
I was saying 10. I was being very pessimistic.
Man, it was so many.
We were saying 15. We said 15, 20 maybe.
Yeah, I was saying 10.
15,
I was like, can we at least get 10? And we end up having like 40, 42. I'm so sorry for those who show up whose name I cannot remember. I'm very sorry. I'm an introvert, and a lot of names, people around me, my mind can get overloaded easily.
There's a lot going on. And shout out, it was Autistic Gamer, Sean. Good young brother. Good young brother. This is the video right here that Marcel was just talking about. Check this out, family. It shows you our presence is always felt.
And I'm sure that was echoed during today's service and march.
Yeah, you know, Intisar, good afternoon. It is an active situation here right now. You can hear chants all around us here. The SWAT team is actually closing off the gate as the vice president is expected to be here. You mentioned Representative Jeffries earlier, which we'll get to here in just a moment, but we have some people chanting ceasefire now from Palestinian demonstrators, and then other people chanting for reparations, all different demonstrations, all different.
That's right.
Which is what Representative Jeffries referenced earlier today. Many people highlighting the point that we're going to hear from later in this afternoon, saying that Dr. Jeffries or Representative Jeffries, excuse me, talking about us being a step behind, but being delayed as an effort to advance the communities here.
Look at that, hey, right there. That's all you need to see, family.
That's
that right there. Okay, that's what I like to see. All the way around right there.
Hey, Alpha, can you rewind a little? I want to show people something that they might have missed. Can you go back to that clip and can you let it play? I'm going to show you where to stop, and I want people to notice something that's quite funny.
Let's go.
I don't know if you caught it, but I caught this, and I'm just catching it.
Tell me when to stop.
And you notice they had to turn the volume down when reporters and allow air, sometimes they'll turn the volume down so that it doesn't cause interference. That's why he seemed like he was speaking lower. They had turned the volume down.
Oh, they think they slick.
I want to show you something that I don't know if anyone caught. And it deals with the ceasefire protesters. Is it buffering?
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Can you see it good? Hold on.
No, I'm not seeing anything.
Oh man, I'm all over the damn place, brother. Hold on. Here we go. Right here. Gotcha, family.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm gonna tell you where to stop. Right there, stop.
Right here.
Well, go back a look. Can you go back a little more? And yeah, go back. And I'm gonna tell you where to stop. Okay, play. And then I'm gonna tell you where to stop.
Representative Jeffries earlier, which we'll get to here in just a moment. But we have some
Right
people
there.
counting.
Notice where the Palestinian ceasefire people are standing on the damn sidewalk. When they saw that Freeman energy coming through, they're like, hey, we better get out these people's way. Because at first they were dominating the whole street. And we came out there far outnumbered. And I was just focusing on the reparations call. But our fellow representatives on the mic, look, hey, this is our day. This should be about reparations only. Some of them joined us, but some of these ones here who had their issue was of more importance, or after like their issue was the only thing of importance, we was like, that ain't about to happen. That's where they stood on the sidewalk.
Man, hey, brother, I didn't even notice that. Yep. Oh no, they all the way out the paint. We pushed them all. They came to our stuff to steal our stuff and got pushed out the paint. By the way, Sean, I see you, man. Certified salute, brother. Good luck in your future job that you're trying to get. Good luck.
Congratulations. But yes, when as soon as we were coming through, when we were leaving out, we said, look at what they're doing to us. We're not even protesters, but they're pushing us out on the outside like protesters. And it was like they were trying to like create this back and forth with reparationists and the reparations and the Palestinian protesters. And it wasn't there. We literally walked past them when they were there in the first place. And then remember, I think the head of the guy came to us, right? Black Alpha, was it?
Yep.
He came over to us and he said, look, we're with you. We were here with Black Lives Matter. We're like,
I hate when they always pull that.
Yeah, we was like, we don't rock with no Black Lives Matter. We never have. It's a fake organization that never has represented us. It is nothing that we stand on. They use them as an example. Those are not any of us. Those are not that's not our people. Let me tell you, he was trying to convince me. He said, let's have a conversation. Yeah, let's talk about this. He said, we're with you though. Okay, you're with me, sir. Why do you have that sign on MLK Day? If you're with us, why are you trying to overshout us at our people event?
If you were with us, you would have the reparation sign.
Exactly.
At least on this day, if no other day.
Exactly. This is not the day for Palestine. This is the day of memorial for our ancestor who was executed on this soil. Let's name your ancestors that were executed on this soil. Let's name one. Name one that was executed on this soil. But we can name several who own corner stores that's executing our Black youth every single day. That's executing our elders. That's feeding poison to our elders. And not only that, when you go to the hood, those are the stores where you go in, the prices are 2 times what the food is worth. And you're ripping off the people in our community because you understand they have limitations. They can't go out. Or if they don't have a car or anything like that, they're going to go to the closest stores that's to them. That's the time that we're on. If you're with us, you will be telling your Palestinian store owning families and friends to take your store down out of that community or stop feeding the poison to Black Americans. Because
my thing, if y'all were with us, the way y'all are doing these massive protests, it would have been on behalf of reparations long before this issue really escalated in Israel, and it has not. So if you were with us, you would have been stomping for reparations as you are out here stomping for a ceasefire in Palestine. Right. And, some of them, I think our words did resonate with some of them. It was because some of them did join us again, but even later on, it was a short, swarthy complexion lady. And she came when we was by that restaurant. They already pushed us way back.
Right.
But remember the short lady had on the black shirt? She came, and I don't know, she had an accent, so she was apparently an immigrant. Remember, she was like, "What are y'all saying? I'll go and I'll
kill the dead babies on the picture."
Oh, that was her, right? Because so she was like, "I'll go back and I'll chant reparations." I guess she realized they weren't gonna put her out. Yeah, she came out. So some of them did join us, but it was these two guys. I don't know if it was father, son, or what. The one that had like a scarf wrapped around his neck.
Yep.
And the other one had like a ponytail with a walking stick. And I was like, I want him to swing that stick at me if he really want to be act like he crazy. Because he wanted to say something. I was ready. Right. And the seller, they was almost looking like they had something they wanted to say. But I'm glad they kept it to themselves. They just walked off and left.
Yep. It was a lot of Trump supporting white males surveying the outside.
Oh, yeah, I told people the MAGA people were there too. I told you they would be. They always gonna show up. If anything about them, they're consistent.
But they were actually, when a white man came over there, he saw our energy and he was like, wait a minute, they don't like Kamala? It was like they were surprised that we was in opposition with Kamala Harris and them.
Well, that's why they need to start being ignorant and closed-minded. Yep. That speaks to their issue. But yeah, they always gonna show up. It's nothing about. I told you, I saw a few of them walking around with "Make America Great Again" hats. They're always gonna show up. They're very consistent, if nothing else. So I'm not surprised.
They like to make sure that you know who they are.
But we have to show up more, y'all. There's enough of us. I know it's only a small amount of us who are reparationists, and when I say a small amount of us who are reparationists, that doesn't mean that there are only a small amount of our people who support reparations. I think nearly all of our people, outside of the most, dedicated, unabashed raccoons, excuse me, most of our people support reparations, even if they are not where we are. Because there'll be food. Thinking reparations is like a free shopping spree at your local grocery store.
Right.
Some of our people might fall for that, but most of our people do support reparations and know we are owed. But we have to show up to educate them. But there are enough of us as reparationists who know better in some of the most pivotal states, like in the South, okay, like Mississippi,
right,
like Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. There's enough of us in state Maryland. I can go on. I'm not naming all the states. I'm just saying there's enough of us in states where there's a large population of our people. And of course, we've got to speak to all people, not just our people. We're going to have to speak to white people. We're going to have to speak to non-Black, non-white people. Okay. However, there's enough of us to show up and to do educational work. I think a lot of us are confused on how to start, but there's enough of us to do it. And sometimes it's just a matter of showing up and speaking with people. And there's enough of us where we can organize with each other to show up and speak out and speak with our people.
Yes. And we've been doing it. The good thing is we've been seeing it happen across the country.
More and more.
They've been going to the, I know Black Alpha been holding it down in Georgia like crazy. He's been at events, the task force hearings. We've been holding it down up here in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. And you've been doing everything in your ability down in South Carolina, even when Marion Williamson came through.
Well, yeah, I'm in South Carolina.
Right.
So if it's South Carolina, I show up, and sometimes I've gone over to Georgia. I went over to Georgia because it's only 25 minutes from me. Savannah, Georgia is only 20 minutes. So I went over to Georgia. Raphael Warnock. I've been over to Georgia to go on a radio station to help educate people about reparations, and I'm glad I did it because there was a guy on there. Well, we just needs to organize our money, and why we's drinking so much? I shut all those talking points down because it still irritates me about how many of our people still will fall for talking points like that. So I was glad I went on that radio station in Savannah and I shut it down. So Alpha and I can handle at least the coast. Alpha goes even in the interior. I've gone to Atlanta too a couple of times, maybe to attend conventions, but the coast, at least the southern coast of South Carolina and the coast of Georgia, I think that's why a lot of them don't like to come there because I think they know we are lurking around waiting to show up. And sometimes I surprise them and don't show up.
You see what happened in our areas. They are so sick and tired of us here. Every single time something is popping off, it don't matter if it's three of us. I can pull people. I'm on the phone making phone calls. Who can make it to this? I can't get out. Like, look, who can make it to this event? And I I will get as many people deployed as possible. If I can't make it, I got somebody else that's going.
And that's what we need to have. We need to have people who are willing to put their feet on the ground and show up and have each other's backs.
Yep.
Because, you know, sometimes they do these events just to lure us out. Don't
Yep.
put nothing past these people. And sometimes it's an event happening. It's just not worth even attending. Like they're having a First in the Nation celebration. Slow Joe Crowbars will be here in South Carolina. They're charging $150. That's the cheapest ticket price. Then it's $250, then it's $350, $450. It goes all the way up to $1,050. Who's going to pay that much money to see a flea-faced, senile, anti-black, bigoted, dumb bastard? Not I. So in those cases, I'm just not even going to bother to show up. And in those cases, it's a really something being held by the Democratic Party. It's going to be a bunch of shills galore. And also in those cases, they like to keep them covered. So sometimes we don't have to show up to everything. But when it's things where our people are going to be there, not though necessarily the Democratic show. Don't get me wrong. I've gone to the events that was held by the Democratic Party and spoken to people who are loyalists to the party before. I've done it many times. But most of the time, we are targeting our people. Majority of our people are not shills. They're not loyalists to a party. They are just, they've lost hope. They're tired. They're fed up. And they just don't think anything's good going to come from any of these so-called elected leaders. And they are right. And that's where we have to come in and say, the leaders we're looking for, right here.
Right here. Full court press.
Alpha, thank y'all for having me, okay?
All right, man. Stay good, family.
Yeah.
Full court press. Let me show you something. So salute to you, Marcel, brother, because Marcel the one who first put me on this situation. But look what we got. We got East Coast. Y'all East Coast to me, so I don't know how y'all feel. Something.
East Coast, yeah. We're the last southern state is Maryland. Virginia is us. DC is us, and we'll go as far as New York. So, but we got people up in New York and even higher there. So
See, we got y'all because I seen the work y'all put in up there. Y'all got them scared. You know what I'm saying? I know the folks in California got them scared. Me and Marcel got them scared down here in the South. This is what we talk about the full court press and just being everywhere and letting everybody know our presence filled. It's a new generation. It's all in our hands. I want to show you something, though, sister. I couldn't load this up on the computer. It was too big. I'm going to show you because we were talking about that guy with the scarf and everything, right? Salute to you, brother Marcel, for holding it down. First of all, let me say this. Our good sister right here and Marcel and myself, y'all are like pros at this, okay? Like, I could tell y'all done been in the paint handling these type of situations. Y'all been in front of these hostile crowds, the COONs, the Democrats. You know the talking points. You know how it is to actually stand in the paint in full court press. That's the beauty of it. It's talent. I'm going to show you this right here. It was this one lady that popped out. I want to see if you remember this. She was telling me, she was like, if y'all don't want to be arrested, go or something like that. I'm going to show you. See if you remember this. I'm going to put my phone up here. Check it out.
Okay. Resist. I'm not resisting. I'm just talking. But we have to move because they're telling us to evacuate Main Street and document it.
Very strange. Very strange. She was telling me to document it, tell me to move if you don't want to get arrested. I never seen her again after any of that. Never seen her again. That was a very odd situation. And it goes, and you really made me think about it when you pointed out that in that crowd, there were a whole bunch of liberals that were kind of playing both sides, really playing the other side, but they were trying to kind of spin it against us. There's another clip I want to show you as well, and this is for the family to see. That's what was going on, though, y'all. There were people that were playing both sides of the argument like we know they do, and they was trying to flip-flop all over the place so they can kind of tell us that they was on our side, but in reality, not so much. I'm going to show you another clip right here. And this goes to show you that when we were all on the same page, we move mountains. Here we go right here. This is another clip from yesterday. It's funny because it feels like it was months ago, but it was only yesterday. But it's all good. Here's another one. This is more action on what was going down. And this is how the brothers and sisters was really holding each other down in the process. This right here. This was me when I was telling everybody what was going on. This is right in the middle. But I want the family to check out some of these strange characters that just seem to be floating around everywhere where we were at.
This is what's happening, y'all. This is what's happening.
In front of the fire truck. Fire truck ain't going nowhere. So we got to go behind the fire truck. We can't see.
Look at that, y'all. All because we stand on lineage. All because we're foundational Black Americans. All because we demand reparations. All because we're not voting for the Democratic Party.
We told y'all, look what they do.
It's a new era, y'all. It's a new generation. Standing on lineage. It's a new time. That was us right there holding down. And right before that, this occurred. And I got it. I know I had my stuff filming. This was me and you, sister, when that God told us about Black Lives Matter. This for the family to see. Here we go.
Oh,
we don't support Black Lives Matter. We're not Black Lives Matter at all. We're not Black Lives Matter. Oh, that's you.
It's the NAACP that put us out. We're talking about reparations. We did nothing. They put us out.
Look at him, he's leaving. You see him way down there. You see him way down there. He comes, he tells us that he marched with Black Lives Matter. We need to support them. And then next thing you know, he just straight up left.
That guy was so weird. He kept, okay, so that was the one I had to call my friend. I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to pull up because I don't never go nowhere without my backup.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, ma'am.
Like, look, let me share my location. They cut off the locations. Nobody can find your location. So I'm looking for like something for him to find. I'm like, hey, you need to check here's the check this location, meet me at this corner. And he couldn't even tell my thing because in that vicinity they turned off all the locators. You couldn't even do the location on your phones at all. No GPS in that area. And that guy, he kept like the way he was staring. And then one of the brothers was like, look, you got to watch yourself, watch this one, that one. And he pointed at that one. And I was like, I was already looking at that one because he was like following me to a certain degree. So we got to be careful when we're out here. I'm always careful. My person was right there ready. Like if anything was to pop off, that person was going to be very damaged. Just put it like that. Just damaged.
Yes.
But we got to watch the way these people move because it was a lot of them and he was packing. He's like, I marched with Black Lives Matter. I don't care if you march with Jesus Christ, sir. We not with Black Lives Matter, never have been. This is about reparations. We're not a group, sir. Like all of these people kept trying to label us as a group. But when you showed that first video, I want you to go back. She was like trying to use the scare tactics to tell us to leave because then if we would have just left, the Palestinian protesters would have been able to just sit there and do the job that they were supposed to do. Instead, they were forced to have to move with us because if they didn't have to move, we would be asking, why is it that actual protesters are allowed to stay here and people who were attending the event cheering on speakers, why is it that we had to leave? They knew that. And then those same people, the one guy with the ponytail, the white dude with the ponytail, the black hair, he actually was like, he pointed, he was like, let's go this way. When they went that way, all they did was circled around, went right back to the corner where they were right in front of the fence and able to chant. That's why they were able to hear.
So they were being shuffled around. That was a good point because had we just took their advice, basically, leave, y'all might get arrested. But in reality, translation, leave so these Palestinians can have the whole space and go interrupt it.
For these protesters, and that's what it was. They wanted it. They needed the least amount of collateral damage. That's why the first guy left us. And this is why every single time he came, I said, everybody get your phones out. And they started pulling out their phones. Everybody in the audience. He looked around. I said, I want y'all to see it's the NAACP who is putting out people for no reason. And then that's when everybody's filming. They're like, yeah, we getting all of this. And he knew that was gonna go circulate. They was like, look, leave them alone. They'll do something to make us have to put them out. We didn't do anything to have us put out. but they had to get us out before Kamala came on the stage. So if they didn't put us out when Kamala put us on the stage, they couldn't get that same effect where the chanters of Palestine is in the background and her being able to pause and say, look, you know, the Palestinians are really need our support right now. Let me pause this conversation on MLK and focus there.
That was a whole game plan, wasn't it?
Killed their whole image. We killed everything that they had planned to do. So I'm glad that we did what we did, and we're not violent coming out here ready to do all of that type of stuff. We came on a purpose to educate and to help get everybody knowledgeable on Marcel's campaign, let them know what we're fighting for. And in that case, I was like, y'all shouldn't feel too comfortable. Every single group that I was walking over to, because it was groups of fraternities, that was it. It wasn't a lot of everyday people there, primarily a fraternity and a sorority event. That's what it looked like. And when I went over to them, and one of the elders from one of the fraternities, and I saw some of the young guys out there, I said, I hope you understand that you're responsible for withholding information from these young brothers. If you really love these brothers, you will be fighting for what we're fighting for, because these brothers and the rest of us, they're going to be the youngest generation to inherit permanent bottom class, to inherit zero wealth. And it's going to take centuries for us to get out of this if we don't fight now. He's like, well, I already got the reparations paper. I said, no, this is bigger than having a reparations paper. This is about you using your voice and getting these youth aware and getting out here and fighting for what our people are due. This is an inheritance that our ancestors built for us so long ago. This is a debt that's due, and it's long overdue. And right now, it's time for that to be paid. And we're not going to stop until it's done, period. And it's not a leader. That's why every single time we get into these spaces, they're trying to designate a person as a leader. You get up, just because I'm on a mic, don't mean if something happened to me, somebody else's, it's 20 more of me somewhere else, 100 more of you. Like, we're all rising out of this because we understand this is survival mode. This is not about how many people you can convince to, like, I don't want to be your friend. I want our bag. I want our land. I want our federal and state protections. I want all of this stuff. I want to really be overcome. If you're going to see we shall overcome, no, someday is today. We're not waiting anymore. We're not getting back in line. We're not doing any of those things anymore. And that's the time that we're on. And I'm so glad that it was so many people say so many things about Black men. Every single time I'm at these events, it's our Black men who are protecting us. It was a Black man who made sure that I was 100% protected all the way around for this. And I think you guys gotta give the respect. I saw how you and Queen Alpha, I love how y'all relationship is. When you saw stuff like getting in a certain way, you had your wife right there, like, all right, babe, we get ready to go in this direction. That's what we are. This is what's happening and what's building up in our community. That was a beautiful thing. I was going to tell you that anyway. I was like, I loved how y'all did that, and she worked right with you. When you say a rock, there's no Black Alpha without the Queen, period. There is no Black Alpha without the Queen. You can see every single thing, that whole support system. That's the power. And that's really what's coming into this space. It's no me without my rock. We are not able to, like, we got to do this together. And that's just what they're afraid of. This is why we get ready to get into the gender wars, because they know when they keep those divides in place, we can't stand strong. But I don't rock with that. I don't get down with that. This is a God fight, and the only way we can fight this God fight is in tune with one another, and that is what I saw yesterday, and I see that every time that we go out, and it's even more and more powerful. We saw it at the FBA rally when we was down in DC. It was so powerful. Our Black men were standing around. and they were in protection mode, and our Black women was right on code, like aligned. And this is the direction that we're going in, and that they're afraid of. That's what they fear.
Sister, I appreciate you 1,000,000% for coming through and breaking it down, spitting that hot fire straight from B-More. I appreciate you. Yesterday it was good to meet you.
Yes.
And when we met, we got right to business, didn't we?
Yes, it was beautiful. It felt like I've been seeing y'all forever. Like, even though we talk online or we do a couple of shows together, and we out in these streets in different spaces handling business. But one thing for sure, when we come together, it's like it's family. And it's a beautiful thing, and I cannot wait until like the rest of this year. We're gonna do some powerful things this year, because this year is so important. So I love how you're using your platform to keep everybody not just fired up, but just educated and getting involved. That's what all of this is all about. So I appreciate your platform.
I appreciate you and everything y'all doing, holding it down. Really, not just up there in Baltimore, not just in the DC, the DMV area, but obviously down south, and everywhere you go, you bring that message with you. You know, so certified salute to you all the way live. And one thing I always say about this era, this generation that's so beautiful and it's so special is that how many people can say the first time they met somebody was at an FBA full court press takeover? You know, first time we met, there was riot gear, police officers. First time we met, we got kicked out. We had the damn Secret Service looking at us. You don't get that many times in life to say that, but we can say that the first time we met, that's what went down.
Literally. And we were still down. We came together, like formulated like Voltron, like that's what they say all the time. Literally, all of us. And keep in mind, guys, it was a whole nother reparations group there that we didn't even know. And as soon as they saw us, they joined in with us. And when I tell you, everybody backed down, they backed down. On the other side, they kept saying free Palestine. We was like, reparations of revolution, reparations now. It was beautiful. And the girl Amina, big shout out to her. She got that bullhorn and she did not stop at all. Like, it was a beautiful thing. Dude was out there with the trumpet.
Yeah,
that was another powerful thing. He came out there, and when they tried to drown us out, he had that trumpet that was overriding everything. So when they they were watching, more people from the crowd was watching what was happening on the outside of that fence than they were watching on that stage when they made us leave just for no reason. They made us leave for no reason. But it's okay. The revolution will be televised.
Yes, indeed. Every day, twice on Sundays. And the receipts is going to follow right behind us, ain't they?
Exactly. And we're going to expand on the fact that they had that flyer out that you posted earlier. And guys, if you didn't see it, go back and look. On that flyer, it says free event open to the public, which means it's a public, open, free event. And you put us out of a free event for no reason. And then you sicked the police on us, like reenacting what happened when Dr. King was here. How much of a disgrace is that to your people, you know? So it's important for us to make those. We're telling everybody, call your congressional representatives, call your local representatives in all positions, and say, hey, we want you to disavow your relationship with the NAACP, and throw in the Congressional Black Caucus with that also. And tell them if they don't disavow their relationships, tell them, I had to correct myself, tell them to that they won't be getting your vote. Because the only thing that's keeping these legacy organizations running is funding from the parties. So this is our time. We can collapse this whole system right now. And next year, you're going to be wishing you didn't do what you did to us. So I'll end with that.
No, that's A1. That is A1. That is perfect. This is our generation. This is our time. We come in. Let me say this, and I got to say this while I got you on here, sister. And I'm sure you agree. We all collectively, brothers and sisters, this right here was the first one of the year. And the NAACP got exposed so bad yesterday. I seen this trending everywhere. And it was literally based on us. That visual that the NAACP disinvited foundational Black Americans fighting for reparations at a Dr. Martin Luther King event. That is the worst PR ever. And now we really, genuinely, sincerely are doing what people haven't done in the past. The NAACP will never recover from the way we all exposed them yesterday, put it up on that big screen, and now it has went viral. So the NAACP, your days are numbered, and we have the facts and the receipts to show it. And this is why they're all afraid of a full court press, because a full court press brings the receipts with it. So that is all about us doing that together. So we've done something that people haven't done in a long time. We all know that the NAACP wasn't real, but it really just took some brothers and sisters like us, as well as others, to go ahead and frame that, highlight it, and spotlight it. And now the NAACP is done. That was your first one, and your next one to be your last one, NAACP.
Exactly. It's over. Like that, if anyone, and just the same thing with the Congressional Black Caucus, when it was like the president of one of the chapters over in DC was cursing at our elders at Howard University when we went to that event and we were spreading the good news about reparations and giving out flyers and things. He's cursed at the elders in the audience just for saying we're only getting $23 at the max in food stamps. And they put him out. I mean, they literally put her out. And so she, of course, went off, and that was another video that went viral a couple of months ago. But this is why it's time for these legacy organizations to be on notice. If you're going to have your congressional caucus, take the Black out of it, because there's nothing Black about your caucus. You do not do anything to help us. You are a fraud, and it's fraudulent to have us incorporated in a name of something that no longer serves us or does not represent our people. Period.
All the way live. Sister, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Miss Jazelle on everything. I'm Miss Jazelle on YouTube. I'm at Miss Jazelle on Twitter, Facebook, IG, everywhere. Like wherever there's an internet, a platform. But yep, at Miss Jazelle. And yeah, we're gonna keep this pumping.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you for coming through, sister. Till the next time when we run somebody off the block, I appreciate you. Much respect for coming through, my sister.
Thank you so much. Peace, love, and reparations, everybody. I'm about to eat this wonderful meal my man made. So,
I got a Philly cheesesteak I'm going to get to here in a minute, too.
So you about to eat, too? I know that's right. So you have a good one. Peace, love, and reparations.
Appreciate you, my good sister. Appreciate to her. Appreciate Amina was there. Appreciate Mama T. Appreciate Miss Eddings. Appreciate everybody who came through. That's what it was all about. We held it all the way down. My brother Marcel, y'all make sure y'all follow him. Y'all hit up his Cash App. Y'all make sure y'all donate to his campaign. Much love and respect to him. Much love and respect to everybody. It's full court press season, y'all. It is full court press season. And we're never going to forget that on Martin Luther King Day, 2024, the NAACP, in conjunction with the Democratic Party, tried to disinvite foundational Black Americans just for standing on reparations. And they also pulled out the fire trucks. They also pulled out the weapons. There were a lot of historic things that went on yesterday, and we were all there. We were all represented. When I say there, I say mentally, physically, spiritually. If you ain't in there with your mind, you're there with your body. If you ain't there with your mind or your body, you're there with your soul. Everywhere we go together. So we shut it down. It was a full court press. I said that this was going to be full court press season. I said what nobody said. I said that anybody who is anti-foundational Black American will be exposed to the maximum. And we did it, y'all. This was a victory. We always search for victories. And we always have people by the millions who say, what we's going to do now? We losing now. Y'all know it's all bad people. We don't have that with us. We always center everything in our excellence and how we can do better, how we can achieve. So we put our minds focused on this event. We went there and we conquered. All right. We came, we saw, we conquered. We got it done, finished. And we're going to go to the next one and the next one and the next one until they get the point, until they run reparations. So this is the way you dominate. This is the way you run things. This is how foundational Black America do it. We sat here about a month ago, me and Marcel, and this might have even been longer than a month. And we said that this was the event that we were going to highlight. This was the event that we was going to full court press. This was the event that we were going to come to, and we were going to make our presence felt. And I'd be damned if we didn't. I put up 3 videos yesterday. Each video had over 200,000 views. They all had massive responses, and it all went viral. I went and looked at Twitter today. South Carolina was viral. It was trending. Why was it trending? Because of what we did. Reparations was trending because of what we did. Foundational Black Americans was trending because of what we did. And it all started with this event. This was monumental, y'all. I always say our victories don't look like everybody else's because we ain't everybody else. Our victories don't look like everybody else because we different. We're on a different level. So that right there is how we get victories. See, everybody else got to get victories based on the Democratic Party giving them things. We don't have to ask for nothing, beg for nothing, and we still win. You look at these groups where the Democrats hand them everything. Them folks that were out there trying to counter protest us, the Democrats hand them money out their pockets. They still lose it. How the Democrats doing everything for you that they do, and you still got to come to us? How are you getting all these benefits and tangibles? There's literally an apparatus to elevate you above us, and you still got to tether to us. They out here trying to tether on to Dr. Martin Luther King. Them days are over. The first victory that we had in this generation, family, is that we went back and we reclaimed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we'd be damned that on MLK Day, they was going to run that game where they try to say it's for people of all colors, it's for all lives matter, it's for everybody but us. You're not going to talk about a situation going on in the Middle East while right here, foundational Black Americans are being slaughtered. Foundational Black Americans are being harmed. We're getting the worst housing, the worst education. We live in the worst places, and yet you want to talk about a ceasefire over in the Middle East, and then you want to come and say it on Dr. Martin Luther King Day, and then you want to speak over foundational Black Americans speaking on reparations? Hell no. And we have decided that we were going to run with that mentality. We went from the yes, we can era to the hell to the no era. The hell to the no era means hell to the no, you can't have my money. Hell to the no, you're going to run that check. Hell to the no, I want my tangibles. Hell to the no, we ain't got no friends. And hell to the no, you're not going to overclaim Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That is a foundational Black American. He represents foundational Black American people, and we're going to make sure that his legacy stays home. We've seen what it's like when they take Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy and they hand it away. And then they use it against us. We have gotten rid of that energy. New era, new time, and reclaiming MLK was the first step. Tangibles, reparations are the next step. And I'm telling y'all right now, let me give you a spoiler, okay? We already dropped receipts, but let me give a spoiler. Here's the spoiler. If you ain't seen the movie yet, then you might as well go away because this is how the movie ends. The movie ends with foundational Black Americans reclaiming Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy. It ends with foundational Black Americans getting a foundational Black American hate crime law. It ends with foundational Black Americans getting tangibles, and it ends with foundational Black Americans getting reparations that belong to us, not a penny spent on anybody else. And all of those people that stood against us told us that they could not help us. No, we're not going to give you nothing. If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. All of them seen their careers go down the drain, right in the trash can, and foundational Black Americans were the ones who did it. So yes, this is our era. Yes, this is our time, and the whole world has to deal with it, whether they like it or not. Full court press season 2024. We run the yard, and you can't walk down the street without acknowledging us. Thank you for tapping in. Black Alpha Network. I appreciate you guys and love you guys with the passion. We're going to continue to ride. We are all part of the FBA family tree, South Carolina and every other state in this great country that we built by ourselves from scratch, and we just coming in to collect it all. So one love, much appreciation. Y'all stay good. I'll see you back, and we going to continue to shine. And don't you ever forget that as long as you wake up a foundational Black American, you already won. And always remember that Black is beautiful, and beautiful is always Black. One love.
Everybody knows that all the people don't have liberties, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice, and all the people don't have power, so that means none of us do.
chick was the